In 30 minutes.
It's not often that the National College Football Spotlight shines on Blacksburg, Virginia's Lane Stadium, but in this picturesque setting, folks have a right to feel festive. The Hokies are in the top 10 and hungry to show their contenders tonight. Clemson comes calling.
Tommy Bowden's two-year Tulane turnaround is the stuff of which coaching legends are built. He bid goodbye to the wave and moved on to greener pastures, breathing life into the air in Death Valley. But the Tigers better be ready in Blacksburg, where a veteran Virginia Tech D is ready to ring in on him with a burnt orange crush and leave opposing offenses marooned. Also ahead on Thursday game night, we look ahead to Saturday, a day of reckoning and redemption. Reckoning for Wisconsin and Washington. The Reeling Badgers kick off conference play against mighty Michigan, while Neuheisel's Huskies are still sniffing for a win against the team he left behind. And redemption for Alabama as the Tide look to turn anguish into victory against their SEC rivals. Plus, the Pac-10 is fading and a newcomer takes over the Carolinas. It's all on Thursday game night. Next.
And welcome to Thursday game night, presented by Gateway. Chris Fowler, Rod Gilmore, Mike Gottfried, Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, and ABC's Terry Bowden join us. I don't know how we're going to top the shockers and the thrillers of last week, but 4 of the top 5 teams Saturday are on the road on upset alert. You got the Noles, the Gators, the Wolverines, and the Cornhuskers. Conference play heats up, and 3 battles between unbeatens: Nebraska at Missouri, Kansas State, Iowa State, and Michigan State against surprising Illinois. Still 29 unbeatens in 1A, including Virginia Tech. We're counting down to the Hokies kickoff with Clemson tonight in Blacksburg. Tech, a program perpetually seeking respect. They finally have it. They have a number 8 ranking, the highest in school history. There isn't a game on Tech's schedule they can't win. It makes them an outside Sugar Bowl contender. So Frank Beamer, interviewed for the Clemson job, now welcomes in the Tigers. Tommy Bowden, taken behind the woodshed. His team that he inherits was last year. They were beaten as Tech scored 30 points in the second quarter in Death Valley. Rarely has an offense looked as bad as Clemson's did on that day. But Tommy Bowden comes in. He's got a new offense. And to talk about that, Kirk and Lee join us from Blacksburg. What do you think about that new attack, Kirk?
Well, Chris, it's very clear for Clemson to stay in this football game, they're going to continue to have good play from their quarterback, Brandon Streeter. Last game out, completed 75% of his passes, over 300 yards and a couple of scores. Now, Tommy Bowden obviously has installed that same offense that he used in Tulane, and Brandon Streeter seems to love it. He looks very comfortable with it. Tonight, though, he's going to face a Virginia Tech defense that will get after it. A lot of aggression, a lot of speed, and it's going to be up to Streeter to show his maturity. He's been back there for quite some time. It's going to be up to him to show that speed, or to show the confidence and the maturity that he can handle that pressure.
Virginia Tech is famous for blocking kicks. They blocked 61 in the 1990s. That's more than any other college football team in the nation. Frank Beamer told us in our meeting yesterday that over 40 coaches visited him this spring to learn his techniques of blocking kicks. Chris, it looks like the kick blocking capital of the football world is Blacksburg, Virginia.
It sure is. You guys have fun tonight. You make your way from Blacksburg to Madison. There's no nonstops. We'll see you there.
Thursday game night is presented by Gateway. Call 1-800-GATEWAY and connect with us.
Welcome back to more of Thursday game night from Lane Stadium and Worsham Field. You know, quite possibly the most often asked question on the campus of Virginia Tech over the past year, aside from what is a Hokie, might have been, is redshirt freshman quarterback Michael Vick for real? After all, the highly publicized, highly recruited Donovan McNabb-type talent had not even taken a snap from center yet and was already becoming a local hero. In the quiet town of Blacksburg, Virginia, they love their Hokies. These days, there's excitement brewing over a young freshman whose mom calls him Uki. To the rest of the world, he is known as Michael Vick. And to those who have seen him play, he is nothing short of sensational.
I think Michael Vick's the best quarterback I've ever been around. I mean, he's just a confident player. You can see it in his eyes when he's on the field. I think he will be the best quarterback to ever come through here. He's very, very level-headed, has good arm strength, and everybody knows he can run.
As accolades pour in from his teammates and the press, Vick's star continues to grow. He's already becoming a celebrity around campus.
A couple of days ago, I was in the ice cream shop, and the lady gave me some ice cream free because she just said, great game the other day, and gave me some ice cream, and I was like, hey, people know me around here now. I think a lot of people maybe look up to me around here, it makes me feel good.
Tech fans that are so excited about him, and Tech coaches and all the Tech family here, we got to understand this is a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, even though Mike's a freshman, I feel that the team has accepted him as a leader because of the things that he's done already on the field and the things that he does off the field, like talking to guys and, doing a lot of the little things. So I think the team really does look at him as a leader, even though he's so young.
In Tech's opener against James Madison, Hokie fans saw a sight they were all too familiar with over the past 2 seasons, a quarterback going down with an injury.
Something just made me jump. I don't know what made me jump. I guess, somebody just telling me, go get the touchdown, and that's what I did. The first thing that went through my mind, I was like, not again, because last season our quarterback got hurt in the Miami game, and that sort of devastated our offense a little bit, and I was just thinking, not again.
Tonight, as he prepares for his return, Tech fans expect nothing less than magic from a freshman named Michael Vick. And as for that nickname...
He has a nickname that his mom gave him named Hokie.
Nah, don't nobody know my nickname around here. Hokie. Hokie. I've never heard of Hokie, but maybe we'll start calling him that on the offensive line.
Now, it's important to remember the sum total of Michael Vick's playing experience was 24 snaps in just 22 minutes in that opening game against James Madison. But here are the numbers to remember about him. 4.3 in 70. He runs the 40-yard dash in 4.3 seconds, and he has a howitzer of an arm that can rifle at 70 yards on the run. His teammates say he's a human highlight film, and Chris, he could give the Clemson Tiger defense a nightmare here tonight.
Jerry, he could, but he still hasn't played against a 1A opponent. It'll be fascinating to watch tonight. Meanwhile, in Blacksburg, they're all excited about Beamer ball. We love swag. Keep the hats and the T-shirts coming. Let's talk about Bowden ball. I mean, they're pitching the ball. Oh, no, only Lee can do that. You can't wear headgear. Talking about Bowden ball down at Clemson, it really confused the Hokies' arch rival Virginia, humbled them in that game.
Yeah, I don't know if Tommy Bowden knew that he had good receivers coming back this year, but he's got a pair that can really play and catch the ball for him. We're talking about Brian Wofford and Ron Gardner. Gardner being a spectacular receiver. He's going to need them. They need big plays, and they have to get yards after the catch, because this defense is not going to let them drive the ball down the field. Virginia Tech has only given up one big play during the season where it's led to a big touchdown scoring drive, but it hasn't happened for them. What is this?
You need that happen. Unusual defense by Virginia Tech. Wide tackle 6, 8-man front defense, and the crowd and the team feeds off of lost yardage plays when they hit the other team in the backfield. Quarterback hits, causing the fumble or hurried pass for an interception. Virginia Tech. And if Clemson's going to do well tonight, they've got to do well on special teams, lost yardage, and quarterback hits. Here's an option play coming down the line of scrimmage. Watch this good defense here, knocking the quarterback down and the running back. 10 quarterback sacks in 2 games for this Virginia Tech defense.
So it's yards after catch versus yards tackle behind the line of scrimmage. That Tech defense does have a way of smothering you with pressure. A challenge for any offensive mind. So we bring back in Terry Bowden. Terry, you talked to your brother. How does he like his chances? I don't mean the media spinning stuff, the inside family scoop on this one.
Chris, first I called Frank Beamer and asked him if he could give me Virginia Tech's plan, but for some reason he didn't return my call. But Tommy was quick to call, and I'll give you his game plan. And this is no Hokie stuff. This is the real deal. Tommy said to win the game, it isn't about throwing the football. It isn't about catching the football. It's about sustaining blocks on running plays. You see, Clemson plays offensive football by the numbers. That means if Virginia Tech plays 5 or less players close to the line of scrimmage, the quarterback must check to a running game. And if Clemson's 5 blockers cannot block Virginia Tech's 5 to 5 defenders, they're going to be dead because they'll have to pass it every down. So it's how long can Tommy's young, inexperienced offensive line sustain blocks on a very good defensive front of Virginia Tech. Corey Moore especially can kill them. Defensively, it's about Michael Vick. This guy is a talent. He's very, very good. And there's one game plan. Get after Michael Vick. He redshirted last year. That means he never played in a football game. He's played 1.5 quarters against James Madison. And he's ready to play on national primetime ESPN. I don't know, but we're going to find out tonight. But I got a PS to this epilogue. Tommy, please protect your punter, please.
I want you to stay tuned so you can second-guess Tommy's play calling like you used to when he was with you at Auburn, all right?
All right, hey, don't win 11, Tommy. Just win 5 or 6 this year. Don't win 11 your first year.
All right, Sarah, thanks for joining us. Look for you on ABC this Saturday. Counting down to the Tigers and the Hokies. A fascinating game coming up at the top of the hour.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
We wouldn't lie. Next month, we have the best pictures playing on DirecTV. A private detective, an unspeakable act. Where will the truth lead?
Get out of the house now!
Nicolas Cage. 8mm. A successful lawyer risks everything for justice.
Somebody had to have seen what happened.
John Travolta. A civil action. 2 scheming teens. An outrageous bet. Are the stakes too high?
Are you in or are you out?
Sarah Michelle Gellar. Cruel intentions. This guy won't be double-crossed.
Where have you been?
Evening up the odds a little.
Mel Gibson in Payback. Destined for the coal mines.
I want to go into space.
A boy finds salvation in the October sky. Oscar winner Gwyneth Paltrow.
I will have poetry in my life and adventure.
In the best film of 1998, Shakespeare in Love. It's true, you won't want to miss these great movies next month on DirecTV.
It's the New York Football Giants against the New England Patriots on ESPN Sunday Night Football.
So you were champion of that Superstars thing?
Yep, 2 times.
Did you get to meet that Charlene Tilton?
What?
Now, she's a competitor. I once saw her beat David Brenner in the obstacle course with a badly sprained ankle.
No, you're thinking the Battle of the Network Stars.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it was the Superstars.
It's the Giants against the Patriots on ESPN Sunday Night Football. It all begins with NFL Prime Time at 7:30.
Here at Sonic, we're known as car hops. Lifesavers is more like it. Hi, here's your order. Thanks. Sonic floats and flurry drinks to the rescue. Get them now for only 99 cents each. We can turn any drink or slush into an old-fashioned float or blend it into a cool, one-of-a-kind Sonic flurry drink. Everybody happy? Everything's great. Thanks. Flavor Flash, try our awesome steak sandwich with some handmade onion rings.
The most powerful V6 engine in its class. The most interior space in its class. Amenities that would surprise you in any class. For those seeking refuge from mediocrity and compromise, we offer the Sanctuary. Presenting the all-new Infiniti i30. It's all the best thinking.
Welcome back to Thursday Game Night, presented by Gateway.
Well, Saturday in the madness of Camp Randall, punishing power football, Michigan and Wisconsin. Remember, a couple times in the 90s, Wisconsin has been shocked the week before Michigan and come back to beat the Wolverines. It would be some personal redemption for Ron Dayne. Never really run well against the Wolverines defense. He says his tender left ankle is okay. Lloyd Carr still going with that quarterback tandem. That was not the plan at the beginning of the season.
No, Lloyd Carr would like to play one quarterback. He's got Tom Brady, a veteran, won 10 games as a quarterback last year, but he also has Drew Henson. Drew Henson played the second quarter, the third quarter, fourth quarter against Syracuse. He makes plays on the run. Here he turned a bad play into a good play with a completion to David Terrell down the field. Then he ran for a key first down. This is what he gives the Michigan offense. He stretches the field widthwise and lengthwise throwing the football. With Wisconsin, Purdue, and Michigan State coming up, I think he wants to settle on one quarterback, Rod.
Well, he needs a quarterback, but they ran the ball very well last year. 257 yards on the ground against Wisconsin. Kevin Cosgrove, the defensive coordinator at Wisconsin, told me they got to stop that. And how do you do that? Bring another man down to stop against the run. Stop the passing now. One-on-one coverage with David Terrell, Jamar Fletcher, Mike Echols are going to have to play big against those guys. They'll be tested down the field, Chris.
Now, both offenses want to stretch the field or it's going to be a long day. Some very good defense, some rugged football. It's part of ABC's regional package at 3:30 Eastern time. College Game Day, by the way, also coming from Madison. Join us at 11 a.m. Hey, at the top of the hour, at tough Hokie defense we've been talking about, and All-American Corey Moore set to attack the fast break offense of Clemson. We're coming back.
For college, so wherever they are, they could be out studying. The Solo 2500 is a PC World Best Buy. Get one with an Intel Celeron processor for $48 a month. Call 1-800-GATEWAY.
Well, look at this. Young entrepreneurs selling delicious beverages. 99 cents. When I was a kid, lemonade was a lot cheaper. Of course, there's not much you can get for 99 cents these days. Oh, wait. I'm insane. There's 10, 10, 220. With 10, 10, 220, all calls up to 20 minutes are just 99 cents. And just 9 cents a minute after that, no matter when you call.
One tray cup?
Sure, why not? Delicious.
Dial 10-10-220.
Welcome back to Thursday Game Night, presented by Gateway. Why do we get the feeling the ugliness is just beginning at Alabama? They lose at home to Louisiana Tech. Athletic Director Bob Backrath is forced out. Here comes Arkansas. It's been a problem the last couple of years. It's a big one, real big one for Mike DuBose. Mike.
It's a big game for Alabama. The lopsided loss last year to Arkansas. The AD's gone. You don't want to lose to Arkansas. This is the biggest game Mike DuBose has because he's got Florida next week. But more important, if you're 2-3, you got an open date. That's the worst time to have it. The call-in shows, the fans, the media, they're going to be after Mike DuBose, Ron.
Ooh, dead man coaching, huh?
But he needs to win. He needs to win the Arkansas game.
Well, the way he's going to get it is that Sean Alexander is going to be a guy that he's got to get the ball to, and obviously they know that. Alexander deadly catching the ball out of the backfield. Chris, 2 touchdowns and 6 catches this season.
Couple other games here. Southern Mississippi, which gave Nebraska that real scare, really outgained the Huskers, now takes on Texas A&M. It's a good gauge for how good the Aggies are and how good the Cornhuskers are in the Big 12. BYU and Virginia, another interesting game because if BYU can get by this game, you know, they could perhaps run the table and be a dark horse contender.
Yeah, BYU certainly has a chance to do well. I like the game Illinois-Michigan State. Yeah. That's not a bad game. Pretty good matchup there. Michigan State, a team that traditionally drops 1 in a season. They don't sustain their composure. This might be the game. Illinois certainly confident. Talked to Ron Turner this week. He likes his team. It ought to be a good game.
How about Miami, East Carolina? Miami coming off the Penn State loss. East Carolina coming off Hurricane Floyd. They lose the recruiting weekend, the home game. It's who handles the bad situation the best.
Major psychological factors in that game. Word is the Canes have not gotten over that heartbreaking loss. Clemson, Virginia Tech coming up shortly.
Today's Sports Century Classic Moment is brought to you by Lincoln Financial Group.
In an early season upset, Southern Cal, a 10.5-point underdog, ends top-ranked Alabama's 12-game winning streak. Heisman favorite Charles White chalks up 199 yards on the ground, including a 40-yard touchdown run. USC will end the season ranked #1 in the UPI poll. That was September 23rd, 1978.
I have a mother. I have a father. I even have a big brother. I don't need someone else looking out for me. I need someone who can help me look out for myself.
At Lincoln Financial Group, our goal is to make the financial world clear and understandable so you can make informed decisions. Lincoln Financial Group, clear solutions in a complex world.
Thursday Game Night is presented by Gateway. Call 1-800-GATEWAY and connect with us.
Almost game time. I disagree. I don't think the Hokies can be looking ahead of Virginia. They want to show their contenders in this game.
Well,
we're going to see.
It's going to be important.
We're going to see if the Tigers are equipped to pay back. These are not your father's Clemson Tigers here. No more 3 yards in a cloud of dust. The passing lanes are wide open. We'll see if they stay open tonight. The Hokies have that human roadblock. Corey Moore just gobbling up opposing offenses. They've also got a new quarterback. Dangerous moves at Virginia Tech, heading for the fast track. Mike Tirico, Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, Jerry Punch in Blacksburg. Enjoy the game. We'll see you at halftime.
Chris, the first night of Auburn has a fall feel in the air in Blacksburg. This pastoral plateau between the Blue Ridge and the Alleghenies. Tonight, this beautiful town's serenity has been interrupted for the Hokies and a visitor from Clemson. Here comes the highest-ranked Virginia Tech team ever taking the field at Lane Stadium. Number 8 in the country. Are they that good? Get a chance to prove it against Clemson in 60 seconds.
I'm not a crazy cat lady or anything, but I am glued to this Animal Planet channel.
Animal Planet, like this monkey, you can't turn it off. I am hooked on emergency vets. It just pulls you right in.
They've got Judge Wapner's Animal Court.
And this crazy Australian dude, a crocodile hunter. They've even got sports.
With an animal twist.
Smells like fun.
Animal Planet. It brings out the human in us.
TV has evolved.
On Animal Planet, anything can happen.
If you think all ATVs are created equal, you've never ridden a Yamaha. The new Kodiak 400 Automatic and Big Bear 400 from Yamaha. 'Cause out here, bears rule. Now, for a limited time, get low monthly payments on every Yamaha ATV and a great deal on a winch plower generator with select models.
Well, there they are, Air Clemson. The Tigers throw the ball for a living now. Tommy's brought Bowden ball to the ACC the second time around. From the ACC, it's Clemson. From the Big East, it's Virginia Tech. The matchup as we start the college football weekend here on Thursday Night Football. A perfect night, and so glad to have you with us here in Blacksburg. Mike Tirico, Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, Dr. Jerry Punch momentarily. They are uttering the words national championship here at Virginia Tech. They think they can get to the title game. To get there, you have to have great defense. 7th in the country last year, and Lee, they may be even better this year.
You know, Mike, Virginia Tech plays great defense. Their strength is their front seven. They're experienced. They start 6 seniors and 1 sophomore. Between them, they have 17 letters. The leader, number 56, Corey Moore. Corey was the defensive player of the year in the Big East last year. Kirk, he runs a 4.38 40, comes off the edge. If I was Clemson, I'd make sure I put 2. Nah, forget it. Put 3 guys on this guy. He's a player, boy.
Yeah, you're not supposed to run a 4.38.
No, he's a player.
Yeah, that's amazing. It'll be fun to watch him. When you think of Virginia Tech defense, when you think of their football team, it's all about speed and aggression. And it's the defensive side of the ball. Well, this year they've added a new dimension to the football team, and it's the redshirt freshman quarterback, Michael Vick. Now, Michael has played in just 24 snaps, and it was against James Madison. He scored 3 touchdowns. Tonight is not James Madison. It is Clemson. It is very important for him to get out to a good start because of, remember, he is only making his first true start against a legitimate defense. And Dr. Jerry Punch, on the other side of the football, it's also going to be exciting to watch Tommy Bowden's quarterback, Brandon Streeter, who's got to be anxious to avenge last year's performance against this same Hokie team.
Exactly, Kirk. Last year, Brandon Streeter against Virginia Tech only completed 10 passes. Unfortunately, only 6 of those went to guys wearing Clemson uniforms. His 4 interceptions contributed significantly to the eventual 37-point margin of victory for the Hokies. But what a difference a year makes. Enter Tommy Bowden and a brand new hurry-up, no-huddle, 4-wide receiver spread offense. Just the medicine for an ailing confidence of an ailing quarterback. And how did Streeter respond? Well, 12 days ago, a school record 343 yards passing against Virginia. He'll need another one of those efforts tonight if they're to stand a shot against one of the nation's best defenses. Mike?
Yeah, good questions here tonight. Is Clemson's offense that good? Virginia Tech hasn't really played an opponent of a high caliber. Perfect night in Blacksburg. In the 60s, we'll be in the 50s before the game is done. Clemson won the toss. Defer the option. And Jamie Somani, their kicker, sends it back to Shyrone Stith. Stith returns it to the 21, and that's where the Hokies drive will start. Now the Home Depot starting lineups for Virginia Tech. Michael Vick, number 7, the man to watch. Stith is an all-purpose, all-around solid running back. The receivers, pretty good. Andre Davis is a speed guy. Emmett Johnson is a sophomore who has a 41-yard touchdown this year. Up front, they are talking about Keith Short in the same terms as Jim Pine, their great All-America center from about 8 or 9 years ago, whose numbers retired. First play, and Vick to the air. He is elusive and has good running ability. brought down at the 28-yard line. DeMont McKenzie made the play. It's a very aggressive Clemson defense. Reggie Herring's the coordinator. Good unit, too. McKenzie moves to the end because Gary Childress, their left defensive end, is out with an injury. The linebacking core. Number 43, Keith Adams. You may want to watch him. He jumps off the film at you because he jumps in the backfield a lot. And in the back, Dexter Polite is a pretty good cover corner. They ask their corners to cover a lot, so 28 and 34 will be tested. After an opening pickup officially of 6, it is 2nd and 4. This is Stith to the right. Across the ESPN 1st and 10 line. Move the change. You'll see that yellow line. You're getting familiar with it now. Marks where the team has to go for a first down, and Michael Vick gets one on the opening drive.
Very important for Michael Vick to get out to a good start. There's a lot of pressure on this young man, and he's only played in 24 snaps coming into this ball game. The thing that I like about Michael Vick is he's very mature for his age. They put him through everything last year as a true freshman, and now as a redshirt freshman. You don't want to call him experienced, but he's a little bit further along than your typical redshirt.
From the 33, they run Stith to the left. DeMarco Fox got out there, but Stith bowled over the 175-pound safety.
One of the things you notice right away, they're going to Stith because of the fact he's the most experienced player they've got. But the key thing right now in Virginia Tech is they've got to keep the ball on the ground and give Michael Vick some kind of success. That's very important in the first part of the ball game.
Also look for Clemson's defense to disguise as much coverage, guys, and try to confuse the young Michael Vick, especially in 2nd and 3rd and long.
The freshman out of Newport News, Virginia, will work out of the gun. Play clock, as you see, running down. A lot of Clemson Tigers coming, and Vick going down. Jason Holloman, 76, was in the middle of it, as well as Keith Adams, who made the play. The ACC sack leaders, Reggie Herring's defense. Reggie, former Florida State linebacker. He's the defensive coordinator at a Central Casting.
Very excited. You're right about that. He's very excited for this opportunity. You know, they figure that Michael Vick has a lot of praise. Virginia Tech has a lot of praise as a team. Let's come into this ball game, try to throw a lot of things at him, try to confuse him, and see what he does, especially in this kind of situation.
Tommy Bowden coached Reggie Herring at Florida State.
One of Tommy's first stops in the coaching profession. Needing to get to the 42. Vick is flushed. 4th down. Well, Tommy Bowden's team is an underdog here tonight. Clemson's the underdog to Virginia Tech. All they need to do is just kind of hang around the game, and the longer they hang around, the more confidence this Clemson team will get.
You can see Michael Vick noticeably limping off the sideline there. It's an ankle that bothered him. He said it was about 95% coming into the game. We'll keep a close eye on that. I know Doctor will be all over that.
Reggie Herring, the defensive coordinator, said let's put a man in his face.
And they did. Jimmy Kibble, one of the 2 excellent kickers on Virginia Tech. A must fair catch for Mal Lawyer of Clemson, one of their starting receivers at the 32. After the 38-yard punt, the Clemson offense will take over with Brandon Streeter, who has 3 300-yard passing games in his career, more than any other Clemson quarterback. You'll see Zachary and Austin in the backfield for him tonight. Austin's the other tailback. 2 receivers start. You'll see 3, 4, and 5. The top pass catcher is Rod Gardner, 23, not a starter. The offensive line is pretty thin and young, and they're missing Will Merritt, their sophomore starter at right guard. There's Clemson, 4 receivers, 1 back. It's the same old Clemson you always knew, right? Well, they're running out of these sets, though, and the first down run by Zachary. Very close to another first down. Should have it. And a late flag down as well. Could be on the Virginia Tech defense, which is missing Nathaniel Williams inside. So John Engelberger, who's a very good defensive end, moves inside. Corey Moores, the other defensive end, the one Lee pointed out at the beginning of the show. Sophomore Ben Taylor is the linebacker who's really gotten the eye of a lot of people here in Blacksburg, along with Hawks and Smith. This secondary hasn't been tested just yet. Remember, they played James Madison and UAB. Nick Sorensen started 3 games at quarterback last year. Anthony Midget may be the good guy out there in terms of a solid player. Ike Charlton, the best cover corner. The flag was a big face mask, 15-yarder. So Clemson's in Virginia Tech territory. Quick toss attempt was blocked. There is a marker down on the far side.
Corey Moore is fast, but my friends, he's not that fast. That's offside. Corey Moore's got to be.
That's Alex Brown fast right there.
That's faster than Alex Brown. That's faster than Superman.
The officials are from the ACC, Big East officials when they met last year.
Offsides on the defense. 5 yards. 3 first down.
Now take a look at Corey Moore right there. See how fast he is in 56? Woo! No wonder he got all the sacks. He goes before they snap the ball. But I tell you what, watch Clemson to use the snap count as a weapon and try to get him offside some. That slows the pass rush down.
3 receivers and a tight end on 1st and 5. Brian Wofford, 25, is the move man. And they're moving Streeter to keep him away from the Tech defense. To the 24-yard line for Wofford, senior out of Spartanburg, South Carolina, who averages 15 yards a catch.
Brandon Streeter feels very comfortable within this offense. He likes to get to the outside, utilizes athletic ability. Here in straight man coverage, Wofford gets to the outside, gives Sorensen an inside move. Ball's right on the money, first down. And this is what Rich Rodriguez wants. First down, create tempo. It's very important to what they want to do.
No huddle. Key.
On your toes. Coming at you quick. Couple of yards for Zachary, the sophomore out of Marietta, Georgia. You mentioned Rich Rodriguez, the offensive coordinator with Tommy Bowden at Tulane. Rodriguez interviewed for the head coaching job at Tulane. Didn't get it. He's back with Tommy Bowden, now running the Clemson offense. And there is Tommy on the sidelines, the author of the perfect regular season for the Green Wave of Tulane last year. Lucky to pick up more, but he still caused Streeter to go down. Big East Player of the Year last year on defense.
When we talked to Tommy this morning, remember he told us he was going to script the first 15 plays? But this time, Virginia Tech did something different. They put Corey Moore on the opposite side. They thought he was going to be on the other side, and he goes, are you sure there's not 256?
How about that attempted block by Zachary?
Forget about it.
5 receivers for 3rd and long. They need 15 yards to get a first down. Moore got to his legs. Pass was caught shy of the first down by Rod Gardner. Oh, my goodness. Moore is a man. Oh. 4th down, field goal.
Mike, one thing about him, Kirk, he never quits. Watch him, Kirk, at the top right there. Never quits.
His strength is explosion off the line of scrimmage, which we've already seen 3 or 4 times here. He loves to get into a rhythm with the snap count as well.
Chris Campbell field goal kick. Virginia Tech is the best field goal blocking team in the nation in the 90s. Campbell on the way and wide right. Field goal kicking's been a problem for Tommy Bowden's team. Now 3 of 7 on the season.
NFL Tonight, Tuesday through Saturday on ESPN2.
With an 83-year truck heritage behind us, we decided to try something a little different.
Hey! You left your wallet on the trunk!
Introducing the 215 horsepower Rally Sport-inspired Isuzu V-Cross. Theoretically, still a truck.
You know, Kenny and I never compare statistics. Or Super Bowls. That way we can drink our Miller Lights without arguing. Right, Mr. Fewer career touchdown passes than me?
Right, Mr. Never Been to the Big One.
We only talk about why Miller Lite tastes great.
It's the choice hops.
No, Snake. Miller Lite tastes great because it's smooth. But let's not fight.
Yeah, you're right. Let's be friends.
Table ready for Mr. I don't have as many passing yards to Stan Fouts?
Hey, that's you.
Miller Lite. Taste the true Pilsner.
We gotta stop 36. This is our season here, boys. All right. Come on, guys, nail them.
I'm gonna eat you up, big man. I'm gonna eat you up.
Meet Cyberbus. And his ball-hawking, tightrope-walking, jaw-dropping Jumbotron hogs. Yeah! Madden NFL 2000. EA Sports. It's in the game. ESPN's presentation of Thursday night primetime college football is brought to you by Miller Lite. Taste a true Pilsner. And by EA Sports and Madden NFL 2000. If it's in the game, it's in the game.
Well, Mr. Corso said Virginia Tech has the scenario ahead of them to get to the BCS Championship Bowl game in New Orleans, the Sugar Bowl.
I've only seen one series, but let me tell you something. Clemson is as good as Virginia Tech.
As good as?
As good.
You're not getting nervous, are you, about that?
I'm nervous already.
All right. All right. See, James Madison?
No.
After the missed field goal, 1st and 10 for Michael Vick. Let's watch him on that injured wheel. The bounce outside by Shyrone Stith. Leveled by Alex Ardley out of bounds. First down, and here's Dr. Jerry Punch.
Guys, you've got to believe during pregame warm-ups that Clemson defensive coordinator Reggie Herring was watching Michael Vick. Now, there's look at Reggie Herring. He was watching Michael Vick, and Michael actually began to limp somewhat on that left ankle, trying to run the option, trying to roll out. And I got to believe that Virginia Tech even cut their warm-up short because Vick was showing that he could not move or wasn't very mobile on that left ankle. And I believe that's why Reggie Herring will bring a lot of pressure early to force Vick to have to beat him himself.
Vick told us he was 95% on the ankle. The lefty throws for about 8 yards to Ricky Hall, senior out of Chester, Virginia.
For Virginia Tech to win this football game offensively, to have a good night, they've got to be able to run the ball. You can see early in the game they're trying to get the ball to Shyrone Stith. He's gotten some yardage to the outside because of his speed, but eventually Michael Vick's going to have to make plays. Doc is exactly right. Coach Herring wants to come after, confuse him, and blitz him and see how he'll respond.
Michael Vick told us, though, he felt more comfortable sitting in the pocket like this last time. Better throw.
Yep.
I'd do that to him. I wouldn't roll him out as much.
On 2nd and 2. Confusion, but still Stith able to go forward for first down. Remember, Vick did not play against UAB, and it's been a long week for both teams. Both were off last Saturday, so this is their first game in 11 days. They're playing the Thursday in 12 days, playing the game on equal rest.
A little confusion here in the backfield, and Stith, the experienced running back, gets enough yards for the first down. Michael Vick, as when we met with him, didn't you like the poise and the maturity? Kind of a take control guy, although he's a young man.
Inside handoff with Vick. Nice play by Keith Adams. We told you when you watch film of Clemson, 43 jumps out at you.
I couldn't take it. We were watching film yesterday. It's 43. I said, look at Adams. He's everywhere. Every game we watched, he's making plays.
He's a monster. He's 5'11", 203.
Yeah, but he plays 230. I mean, he is everywhere. If this guy was 6'3", 230, you'd be talking about Keith Adams as one of the best linebackers in the country. He's very active, very athletic, and by the way, he likes to get in your ear and let you know all about it.
Yappa. 2nd and 10. Fake the reverse. Vick lets it long for Andre Davis. And it's intercepted by Alex Ardley, who's got a lot of room to run. Alex Ardley out of bounds at the 36-yard line. And a late flag comes in as well. And there's Coach Herring. He's got his guys fired up. Virginia Tech's offense does not look crisp.
Well, one of the things that messed up here.
Dead ball, personal foul on the offense, 15 yards, first down.
They tried to run a reverse play that time. And Clemson's defense did so well. Kirk, when we watch this, watch it. They try to run a reverse play, but the reverse play is messed up, and then all of a sudden, Vick's got to do something with it. Now here comes the reverse. Watch him mess it up.
They run the reverse. Watch Michael Vick. It almost looks like it's a dead ball. He sells it so well. And you got to give the defense of Michael Vick, this is a hit or miss. There's not a read there. You're hoping they buy on the fake, and then you just throw it up and hope that the receiver's going to make a play.
Well, with the flag, Clemson takes over in Tech territory at the 49. Pressure, more coming. Jump ball. Incomplete. Sorensen was on the coverage of Brian Walker. Well, Brandon Streeter doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, but you can't let him throw, and Corey Moore is right in his face, untouched.
Well, Corey Moore is applying that kind of pressure. They're straight man. There are absolutely no safeties back deep. And Rich Rodriguez told me this morning when they get into that, they've got to burn him. They've got to make it. They've got to hit it for a deep ball.
Plenty of time to change the play when you don't huddle.
Look at all these guys at the line of scrimmage here. Everybody's at the line.
9 in the box. Well, nobody was on the same page with the changes, and Moore made the play. Kirk and Lee, as Chris mentioned, will be going not nonstop with a connection from Blacksburg to Madison for college game day at 11 a.m. Eastern. Should be a great atmosphere. Big Ten game at noon. Indiana against Penn State at 7:30 Eastern time. The primetime game. Alex Brown, speaking of great pass rushers, and the Florida defense off the Tennessee win takes on Kentucky. Of course, ESPN.com, a part of the Go Network, go.com, for all your college football all week. Play clock at 2. Just got it off. The inside handoff is Travis Zachary to the 45. There are some people who are pretty excited to play defense here in the opening quarter.
And even when they don't make plays, the speed, the aggression, and the reputation of Virginia Tech intimidates opposing offenses.
Frank Beamer's team is great in all facets of special teams, including the punt block. They have not blocked a punt in the first 2 games. Clemson has a player all the way down at the bottom of the screen, and Virginia Tech reacts to it now as Ryan Romano gets set to punt. They're coming. Nice job by Romano. His kick will go into the end zone. 25-yard net on the punt. Hokie ball to their own 20. See if the youngster can settle down a little bit.
Where do some of America's most successful people get their start? Did somebody say McDonald's?
We don't build commuter cars or get you to work fast pinstriped cars. We don't build cars, period. We build the 205 horsepower, get out of town fast Isuzu Rodeo. Because there's more to life than the daily commute.
It's my mom's birthday. She's in Washington. I don't know what to get her.
What'll make her happy? Hearing from you. Come on. So dial 1-800-CALL-ATT and call her collect. It's the same low rate every minute, everywhere. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect call. Hi, Mama. It's your daughter-in-law.
There's a lot more to working in AutoZone than looking up parts or ringing up sales. And it has to do with taking pride in taking care of customers. Like testing an old part before selling a new one. Or simply having what they need when they need it. In other words, it's about taking care of people who take care of cars. And that's what we do best at AutoZone.
Thomas Jones and the Cavaliers travel to Provo to take on Rob Morris and a stingy Cougar defense.
Virginia, BYU at 9. Saturday on ESPN2.
The defensive game changer from Brownsville, Tennessee, which is a city of about 10,000, 50 miles northeast of Memphis, Corey Moore. One of the reasons Virginia Tech has such high hopes for 99, and this guy as well. But in 2 drives, the freshman quarterback, Michael Vick, hasn't looked very good. Andre Kendrick is in the game at tailback. And Vick is shut down on the option. Terry Jolly.
And you know what? I've had this happen in my coaching career a lot. And I bet you Reggie Herring did this. A lot of times you talk about another team's defense. And your defense gets sick and tired of hearing that. I'll bet you that Clemson said to him, hey, look, we're the defensive team in the South. Let's forget about it.
You're exactly right. When I talked to him this morning, he said, we are so sick and tired of hearing about Virginia Tech. That's what they've been selling all week to their kids. Hey, we play defense at Clemson.
that won them a national championship in '81 when they allowed 90 points in 11 games. Vick to the air. Oh, first down for Andre Davis at the 45. 25 yards in front of Dexter Polite.
Michael Vick says he likes to sit in the pocket. That's where he's comfortable. Here, straight drop back. He really hasn't found his rhythm yet. Delivers the ball right on the money, and it's a nice move to the outside there by Davis, and Davis is a speedster. He's the guy that can go the distance, kind of the game breaker for the Hokies, and there he had enough of a cushion off Polite to get into the open area.
Remember, with a quarterback with a bad ankle, I think the worst thing you can do is roll him out and run the option. They need to keep the kid in the pocket and throw the football and run it.
Clemson rushes 4. Vick has had a ton of time. Now the pressure late as he uncorks it. Man open! Emmett Johnson nearly had a touchdown. A flag has been thrown. It's backed by the quarterback, and Vick was tagged after the play. Full Big East crew when they played in Death Valley last year. Full ACC crew here tonight.
Holding on the offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Clemson catching a lot of breaks in the early going. Need to capitalize on them, and up to this point they have not been able to do so. Their defense is playing outstanding football. It's very early, but they're playing outstanding so far.
Mistakes and big penalty type mistakes for Virginia Tech thus far. First and 20 for the Hokies. Andre Kendrick gets it out to about the 41. It'll be 6 yards. Polite beaten earlier. Tackle now.
When a defensive staff puts their plan against to stop a quarterback like Michael Vick, what you have to do is go to the other guys, because they're obviously set their whole plan on stopping Vick to the outside. You've got to go to the tailbacks and run the football, throw it quick, because I'll guarantee you one thing. They said one guy that's not going to beat him is Michael Vick.
I think they're going to make Michael Vick beat him. I think they're going to try to take away that running game and make Michael Vick beat him, and they're going to do that by crowding the line of scrimmage.
Cullen Hawkins is the fullback. Pressure. Vick shows no signs of being slow. He still's got some wiggle. To the 48, and that Virginia Tech sideline says, hey, you threw flags on us. How about a flag there? Just shy of the first down.
He's got a little bit of a wiggle. I think you're right. I mean, here he gets to the outside. He's got plenty of speed. And what's interesting is he feels more comfortable in the pocket, but clearly has enough versatility in his game to get to the outside. And there, what a shake there. You like that?
Oh. Remember he was telling us, did he play, Michael Vick played a little one-on-one with Ronald Curry, the great player?
Back in high school.
What did he say? Held him a 14?
Held him to 14.
Oh, he loves playing basketball.
That's pretty good.
What a great basketball player he is.
He's a terrific athlete over on that side. Yeah, that Newport News, Tidewater, that area, that side of Virginia has some great athletics. Terrific athletes over there. Full back, third and a couple. Cullen Hawkins, first down and more. To the 33-yard line. Hawkins, who missed 9 games last year, back in the lineup, moving the chains for the Hokies.
While you're watching a tailback, you're watching a fullback, there goes Hawkins in the middle. Good play. He runs right over the inside linebacker and keeps right on running. What I like about the Tech offense now is they're starting to move the ball around. Let everybody touch it.
Nice trap there by Matt Lair. Brought him onto the other side, and fullback exploded that in there.
Shyrone Stith back in the game and gets it to the 31. Well, Virginia Tech was a team last year that had a lot of expectations, and the season came crashing down on them here. The biggest upset in the 90s. Losing to a Temple team that Virginia Tech thoroughly outplayed. Just when they needed to make the close them out plays, they didn't. Temple hit some trick plays. Virginia Tech had a drop in the end zone. Avoid that game this year. That's the mantra and the mindset around Blacksburg in '99. Because they've had it in prior years. They run Jarrett Ferguson, the starting fullback. And Ferguson has a first down for VT.
That's another trap play. Again, the opposite side. Josh Redding makes a good trap. Remember one thing. Right now, Virginia Tech has over 65 yards rushing against 8-man front. That's the secret to the game. They're going to run that football, Kirk. They're going to run right at him.
They're going to run right at him, and it's interesting. The adjustments already being made by Virginia Tech and their offensive coordinator, Ricky Bussell. They found, hey, they're going all to the outside. Let's rip them to the inside with the trap. And right now, the fullbacks are picking up big yardage.
Timeout before play 8 of the drive. As the redshirt freshman quarterback saw something he wasn't happy with. Be right back in Blacksburg.
As darkness envelops the land, the scourge of the earth walk among us. And as the day of reckoning nears, so do the knights, the slayers, the saviors, brought here to punish those who go unforgiven.
WWF Unforgiven, September 26th on Direct Ticket. Order and receive WWF The Music Volume 2. Visit WWF.com for details.
I invest in graphite rods, only to break them. Find just the right plugs, only to lose them. Hire expensive fishing guides, only to curse them.
Unlike most cheerleaders, I follow the sports that I cheer for. And that's why I read ESPN, the magazine. ESPN, the magazine, is the magazine for sports nuts, like me.
My Sports Center meal starts at 9:53 a.m. with the Did You Know as my appetizer for the 10 o'clock show, which is my main course. And for dessert, I don't know, the ice cream with the cookie dough is pretty good.
Very unusual to see the offensive coordinator sitting upstairs as opposed to being down the field, but right now it's paying off for Virginia Tech as he has made some great adjustments in Ricky Bussell.
More interesting than that is the quarterback coach. Usually stays down with the quarterback, doesn't he?
Yep.
Especially a young one.
Yep.
Like Michael Vick. Play 8 of the drive. They've run 6 of the first 7 plays. A throw here. Vick checked down to Andre Davis. The speedster has it inside the red zone.
I tell you what I liked about that play. Kirk, you'll appreciate this one too. That was his 4th receiver. He looked 1, 2, 3 to his left and dumped it off to the right. Now that was a major league play.
Jerry punch for a second.
Guys, Virginia Tech backup center Tim Schnecker taken off the field a moment ago. His right ankle very sore and right above the ankle very sore. They're going to take him in for x-rays. We'll update you momentarily. There he is on the being taken off the field right now for x-rays.
Jerry, thank you. Keith Short, the starter. Right back in there. Vick looking out of the backfield for Stith. Shyrone Stith delivers a blow. 1st and goal, Hokies. "13 yards, Robert Carswell the stop."
Coach, you mentioned last time he did such a good job of coming off. They ran the exact same play with a different formation. When Stith goes to the outside, out to the arrow route, there's nobody out there. The linebackers had him man-to-man, and he doesn't have enough time to get out there and stay with Stith. Another great call by Virginia Tech.
Kendrick and Stith, along with Ferguson in the backfield. And Kendrick on the move. Stith tried to run behind the pulling left guard, Matt Lair. 2nd and goal.
What I love about a guy like Michael Vick, near the goal line, you always got that quarterback rollout option possible. That's why it's almost physically impossible to stop a football team with a quarterback like Vick on the goal line. Kirk runs it off the tackle around the end.
Yeah, he's got the speed, and he can get to the corner. But it's good time for an option down inside the 5-yard line as well.
Good numbers in the red zone. Same formation, same man on the move. Same man with the ball. Touchdown! Shyrone Stith. His running back coach challenged him to be the best running back in the Big East, or maybe the best all-purpose back. Does so many things well. And some speedsters at Miami, some good ones at Syracuse, but for all around, he's pretty solid. Shayne Graham, who just doesn't miss extra points, adds another one.
Keep your eye on the fullback right there, number 27. Boom, he leads him through the hole. One thing, you know what these guys remind me of? They remind me of the old Penn State team. Kind of funny-looking uniforms, not very pretty. Very conservative coach, play good defense. Looks like Penn State. Look at the uniforms even.
How about how the offensive line got down, got low in the trenches, and came off the ball. That right side of Josh Redding and Dave Cadella, the center Keith Short. Really a good job opening up the hole. Hawkins and Stith, they fell in, but there was no there to hit them.
Nothing at all. The old maroon and gold has never been seen in State College, buddy. I'll tell you right now. Maybe in the art store. How good was that drive, Lee? 8 runs, 3 passes.
That's my point. As soon as they saw that Reggie Herring had set up his defense to stop Michael Vick to the outside, they ran right at him. I don't care if they had 8 in the middle or not. They ran right at him. And let me tell you something. When you can run at 8 in the middle, you got problems the rest of the game.
Took over 5 minutes off the clock, and that's another thing that kind of could sit on the mind of that Clemson defense after as well as they started this football game.
And Vick hit all 3 passes on the drive, 3 of 3 for 42. We'll see if Tommy Bowden's offense can get going. They could not take advantage of good field position on the opening 2 drives.
Mike, did you notice the passes he threw, though, Kirk? To those backs coming out of the backfield.
Could get him going. You know, that's started off a little shaky. Now get his confidence going and see what he can do.
Brian Wofford back deep. All right, Herbie, you want to try it? Jimmy Kimmel, the kickoff man. What did we notice about Virginia Tech kickoffs?
Oh, it goes to the E. This kick will go about 6 yards deep in the E in Hokies. We noticed that on film.
I say to the S.
You're going to go to the S? It's definitely going to be 5 to 7 yards deep. I'm going to go with the E.
S.
Come on, E. Oh, he's going with the pooch.
That's a rare return kickoff from the 8 to the 18. Well, I'm sure his teammates on special teams are happy. They don't get to kick cover very often with all the touchbacks from Kibble. It's only the 5th kickoff of his return in the first 15 this year. ABC college football, you know, Lee Christenkirk are going to be in Madison for Michigan, Wisconsin. You'll see the game, most of the country on ABC. Resty, Southern Miss within 7 in Nebraska playing A&M, Florida State, North Carolina, and Colorado, Washington, the game with such significance because of the storylines with Rick Neuheisel. That comes up Saturday. Check your local ABC listings or fire up the ESPN game plan and switch around and watch them all. A little trickery, perhaps. Wofford pulled down by Moore.
Mike, you and Kirk, on page 14 of the coach's manual, when you get a guy like 56 that runs like crazy, run a reverse on him.
Watch him come in here and then stay home.
Yeah. This is physically impossible to do.
You got to remember, this is not an exaggeration. He runs a legitimate 4.38, and that's discipline. We were talking to him yesterday. He seemed like almost like a coach.
Yeah.
He has such a demeanor about him.
How'd you like his eyes?
Yeah, oh yeah.
A long ball, it's out of bounds and incomplete. I thought there were whistles, but there were not. Nice coverage on the play by Ike Charlton. John Engelberger, who's usually on the other end, was bringing middle pressure.
The other thing that Corey Moore said to us was, we need to hit Brandon Streeter early and often. Let him feel us. Let him feel that defensive line. If we can do it with 4, we're better off.
They had 2 on Moore. Remember I told you in the pre-show? No, 3. 2's not enough.
Be careful down here. 3rd and 21. Look who made the play. Look who made the play in a pass rush situation when he was still heading for the quarterback. There was a song back, I think, in the late 70s. More, more, more. How do you like it? How do you like it? Well, they love it in Blacksburg. The leader of the defense leads the Hokies 7-0 after 15 minutes.
You know, Patty, I'm convinced men prefer blondes. And what type of men would this be, Daisy? The same type that prefer Miller Lite because it's so smooth. Oh, those? Well, the ones with great taste love Miller Lite because it tastes great. And by the way, prefer brunettes. Oh, if they prefer brunettes, why do they drink a beer that's smooth and blonde? Because it's a natural blonde.
Miller Lite. Taste the true Pilsner.
Yeah, like men care.
Now to own on video and DVD. Bring home the effects. The Mummy. She's here. Buy it September 28th at a great low price.
Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us. The Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of their special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want, plus all the salad and breadsticks for $6.95. Good thing I was born hungry. The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
I'm grateful that Michael Garcia is in our lives.
State Farm, Mike Garcia speaking.
We had a house fire, a house burned.
That was a tough day.
He didn't treat us as a policy holder, he treated us as a neighbor, as a friend.
I gave him a check right away. We went from there to putting the pieces back together.
He's not a hero in the sense of a sports hero or a movie star. He's a quiet hero.
He looks out for everyone in the neighborhood.
It's gone from being a slogan to really being my way of life.
With an 83-year truck heritage behind us, we decided to try something a little different.
Hey! You left your wallet on the trunk!
Introducing the 215 horsepower Rally Sport-inspired Isuzu V-Cross. Theoretically, still a truck.
These are turbulent times in business. You're managing all kinds of risk, exposures, asset volatility, performance erosion, market turmoil, the unexpected. Inhale, exhale. At Zurich Financial Services Group, we create innovative solutions for insurance, financial protection, and asset management. Your aspirations, our passion.
As we start the second quarter, Virginia Tech special teams licking its chops. 36 punt blocks in the last 140 games, the Frank Beamer era. And they've got Ryan Romano in an uncomfortable position. He rushed it to get it out of there and got a very fortunate bounce. Virginia Tech will take over at its own 44. Nice job by Romano, a 51-yard punt. 7-0 as we start the second quarter. What an opening first quarter. And if you didn't believe that Corey Moore was good, there was your answer.
Outland Trophy goes to the best defensive and offensive lineman in the country. Right now, I've seen no better. I know it's early in the season, but can you get any better than this guy?
It's very early in the season, but you know what? He is such a dominating force, and he has such great savvy, such a feel for the game.
Yeah.
His ability to rush the passer and also make other plays.
Let me remind you guys of the man you saw from Florida, Tennessee.
Brown's not too bad.
Yeah, he can't compare to this kid in all the aspects of the game.
I'm just here for a reminder, you know, just keeping you honest. That's all.
Very early. Very early in the year.
1st and 10 for Michael Vick in the offense. Look at the wiggle. Michael Vick to the 23. The ground caused that fumble. Dexter Polite pulled him down, but the pickup was 32 yards.
See Michael Vick starting to have some fun. This is a simple speed option. They take the pitch man away, and Michael Vick is very comfortable with the option. Here he has the ability to cut back. Notice the speed in the open field. This Clemson defense can run. He gets out in the open field, and he can go.
Remember, Dr. Jerry Prince said that he thought that the ankle going to left would be okay.
That's not there. Not there.
Not there.
No.
He's all right.
They run Andre Kendrick, touchdown. Andre Kendrick's second rushing touchdown of the season. Shayne Graham sneaks in an extra point. Vick ran it for 31. Kendrick, a converted quarterback, ran it for 24. And the team, a beamer, up 14.
Which Sports Center do you watch? Mornings, evenings, late nights? Only on ESPN.
Hi, I'm Doug Flutie, pro football player and father of an autistic child. I started the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation to help less fortunate families of autistic children get the support they need. Here's a way you can help. Just dial 1010-220. All calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents, and 1010-220 will make a donation to the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation every time you use it. So dial 1010-220, get up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents, and help some great kids at the same time. It's a win-win situation.
He's Denver's fourth all-time leading rusher. On any given day, this back could pile up yardage, elude tacklers, and score at will. Yeah, this Denver back played his position like no one else. Did I mention he's a quarterback?
Expect more from an original. Original Coors, brewed a mile high.
Coors in a yellow can. Now that's original.
There comes a point when one more sequin will ruin the dress, when one more brushstroke will spoil the painting. There comes a point when anything more is simply more. Park Avenue by Buick. Power, comfort, unparalleled elegance. And now, Park Avenue is even more rewarding. It's luxury, pure and simple.
ESPN's presentation of Thursday night primetime college football is brought to you by Keystone Light, America's never bitter beer, and by Park Avenue by Buick. Luxury, pure and simple.
That's the president's house on campus at Virginia Tech, Dr. Paul Torbenson. He's the fine president here at Virginia Tech. He is leaving the school, retiring after this year.
Mike, I talked to him just before we got in. He's going to continue as an engineering teacher. He loves it so much. He's been here 40 years.
And a friend of athletics. Jimmy Kibble's kick. He overkicked the E and the S in Hokies.
Closer to the S, though.
We almost got that one.
S. Tell me.
You're right. You're a little bit detailed. Let's go back to that touchdown play. And this is textbook offensive line play. They were able to control the line. Knee, Pauly, number 72, comes around. Nice block by the fullback, Colin Hawkins. And because they're so concerned with the speed and athletic ability of Michael Vick, that just opens up, and Kendrick does the rest with his speed.
Tech's moved the ball. Clemson has not. From the 20, Streeter to Justin Watts for 5 yards. Watts caught 3 balls in the first 2 games. Clemson lost to Marshall in the season opener in Death Valley in front of 80,000 people, 13-10. And that really could have taken the starch out of the new attitude, but a big 33-14 impressive thrashing of Virginia. We got everyone really rocking Death Valley 2 Saturdays ago. Pressure, more. Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. We had to wait for the referee to say if the arm was going forward or not. Oh, my goodness.
All right, from the left side of the screen, you're going to see number 56, Corey Moore, and his great quickness. And the thing I like about him, Morris, right there, watching the left side, he comes around so fast. I said at the beginning of the show, you got to put 2 guys on him. A big tackle cannot No question about it. A big tackle can't block him.
T.J. Watkins is 252. He's not some 300-pound, slow-footed behemoth. 5 wide, game up front, throw underneath, and hello, Brian Wofford. My name is Jamel Smith. How you doing? Woo.
Yeah, we've been talking about Reggie Herring, the great defensive coordinator of Clemson. We haven't mentioned Bud Foster yet.
That's right.
I mean, is this guy Foster? He might be one of the best in all of football as the defensive coordinator for Virginia Tech.
He is an outstanding defensive coordinator. Went over to Washington in the early 90s and has implemented that 8-man front. And now he's mastered it. Now people are coming here to talk to him about defense.
Looking like they're coming at Ryan Romano. They're walking in the players who are going to block the Gunners. Oh, they make you work so hard on special teams. Clemson's done a nice job of protecting their punter. Ricky Hall at the 30. About 6 return yards. Clemson's run 15 plays for 27 total yards because of Moore and the Hokie D.
One of the biggest concerns for Rich Rodriguez in his offense was the offensive line. He has 5 new starters up there. How would they be able to handle Corey Moore and the speed of that rush from Virginia Tech? Obviously, throughout the first half, they have not been able to contain him. Outstanding quickness. He's been beating him to the outside. Right. Now he has him committed to the outside, and he shoots underneath. He is a big-time playmaker for this defense.
Stith and Ferguson the backs. Vick throws, a little confusion. Emmett Johnson came back for that ball. I don't believe it was intended for him. I think Andre Davis, 88, was the man Vick was throwing for.
Confusion there. Very important for Clemson's defense at this point in the game. Still 12.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. They've got to keep their composure. This is a young team, new coaching staff. They cannot afford to get rattled and give up. There's still a long way to go in this football game.
Corey Moore leads an experienced Virginia Tech defense with 7 senior starters. 3 juniors and 1 sophomore has earned his way onto the field because he's been so good. Big opening for Shyrone Stith. That's to the 38-yard line. Polite pulled him down 25 yards after the fact.
Anthony Lambeau, Matt Lauer, Keith Short. Good look at football. Watch the left side explode. Come off the ball, nice body lean. Boom. The tight end, number 87, comes down the line, makes a good block, and there he goes, Stith.
Oh, this is textbook offensive line play. I mean, these guys are coming around, they're making their blocks, and Stith, maybe one of the most underrated players on this Virginia Tech team. He pops it in there very well.
Bob Slowakowski, 87, the rarely used tight end. Same place. Stith lost the ball. They scramble for it. Clemson looks like they have it, and they do. A much-needed turnover for the Tigers. Terry Jolly, the one who knocked it free.
Well, it wasn't pretty. They gave up some big yards, but the ball came out, and they were fortunate enough to jump on top of it.
One of the things you might try to teach a running back, always keep the ball to the opposite side of the inside, right? He had the ball on the inside where the men were coming from. That's why he got it stripped.
Jolly from behind, the recovery by Keith Adams. Streeter's pass caught by Rod Gardner. That'll be about 8.5 yards. So Brandon Streeter's on his 3rd different offense. Change of coordinators, change of system, all brand new to him. A 5th-year senior, really a graduate student, not a 5th-year senior, 5 years in the program. He sneaks it and gets the first down across the 40 and to the 42. Kirk, how tough for a quarterback to pick up this kind of system in his final year?
Well, I think because he's had to move around to so many new offenses, become familiar with new offenses. By the time he gets to this one, this is what a quarterback dreams about. This is basically the run and shoot. Having this many wide receivers and throwing the ball all over the place, this is every quarterback's dream.
Streeter, the son of a coach. The quick toss to Wofford. Nick Sorensen made the play after a pickup of a couple. Our ESPN 2 lineup this Saturday starts in the Big Ten. Speaking of quarterbacks who throw it, Drew Brees, number 11 Purdue against Northwestern. Miami, East Carolina. They'll play that in Raleigh. And Virginia, BYU. Virginia lost to Clemson, plays Virginia Tech next week, and sees Kevin Federick in the Throw 'em Cougars triple header on ESPN 2. Our best to Steve Logan in the East Carolina program, kept away from the university because of the flooding. That's a false start penalty on the left tackle. This is not happening.
Streeter's pass complete to Justin Watt. Knocked out of bounds by Corey Byrne and Jamel Smith.
As they get set to back him up 5. If you didn't hear during the week, and you may have seen it on Thursday game night with Chris. Things so bad in Greenville, the East Carolina players can't get back there. Very classy of the other team from Clemson's home state, South Carolina, Lou Holtz and company, to open their facility and allow East Carolina to have a couple of days just to get back into football mode.
Illegal motion on the Tigers, 5-yard penalty.
The Tommy Bowden's team will face 2nd and 14. Corey Moore looks like a sprinter in the block. He's on the near side. Second one in on that line. Here he comes. Streeter hurls one up top, out of bounds. Jerry Punch.
Guys, after the previous offensive possession for Clemson, their offensive line coach, Ron West, really challenged his very young and very light offensive line to be able to give Brandon Streeter some time, and particularly to identify where Corey Moore was lining up, to try to be able to get someone, maybe 2 in front of Corey Moore, to give Streeter a chance. Remember, it's a very young and very inexperienced and also a very light offensive line that Clemson's working with here tonight.
And Moore got knocked down there, and as you saw, he was down on the ground, and they're checking him out here. Corey Moore has 1 sack tonight, 23 on his career.
Looked like he just has the wind knocked out of him. I think he came down as he once again applied pressure. Goes to the inside move. Here they're trying to use a tight end on him. Gets right in the face of Streeter. And as you can see when he comes down, he comes right down on top. Looks like he took maybe a knee into the stomach. He's already off the field. I think his wind just knocked out of him.
I tell you one thing, if Mr. and Mrs. Streeter were in the audience, they were hoping that Corey Moore, not bad, didn't get up, because they are giving their son a heck of a battle, boy.
Virginia Tech opponents on 3rd downs this year are 3, 32. Zachary caught it out of the backfield, and he's right at the ESPN 1st and 10 line, but I think the spot's going to have him a hair short.
Now, I know it has nothing to do with it, but Corey Moore was not in the game, correct?
Yes.
And he had time to throw it, correct?
Yeah, but John Engelberger, that time he almost got into it.
Yeah, but he almost.
Yeah, well,
the other guy does.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't in there, one play, and they make what, 18 yards? Yo.
Clemson ran out with the offensive players. It's going to be 4th and about a 1.5 feet. They are just a little bit short here, I do believe. Decision time.
When Virginia Tech's healthy, this is what you get on the other side. That's not too bad of technique there. Gets right to Streeter right as he delivers the ball. Hey, Moore has not gotten him every time. He's been hitting him also late.
Thinking about going for it here, Lee, on 4th and a half a yard.
Have to.
The way the defense is set up, you better not get in a shotgun. You got 18 guys on the field. Look.
Play was stopped because the chains were not set after the measurement.
No, it looks like 18. How many guys does it look like?
I think 22. Actually, if you want to count the officials, I think we're at 29.
Okay. He's going to spread them all over.
And sneak.
He's going to run a quarterback sneak. Watch.
We're running people in and out here. Play clock at 16. Timeout Tech. Nick Sorensen saw it and quickly called the timeout. You can't break the huddle and run players in and out. When you're at the line of scrimmage, you can get away with it a little more. Little wrinkle, ironed out by a timeout.
Remember life in the fast lane?
I do.
First you meet, then you get married, and things slowed down.
Yeah, right.
To help you keep up, drive the supercharged Regal GS Sports Sedan. Plenty of room, standard traction control, and the most power in its class. Get up to $35.67 average finance savings with 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on 1999 Regals. Official car of the supercharged family.
Here at Sonic, we're known as car hops. Lifesavers is more like it. Hi, here's your order. Thanks. Sonic floats and flurry drinks to the rescue. Get them now for only 99 cents each. We can turn any drink or slush into an old-fashioned float or blend it into a cool, one-of-a-kind Sonic flurry drink. Everybody happy? Everything's great. Thanks.
Flavor Flash, try our awesome steak sandwich with some handmade onion rings.
John Elway's receivers learned an intricate series of more than 25 pass patterns. They also quickly learned about the Elway cross pattern. But the cross pattern wasn't a pass play. No, the cross pattern was the big red X that one of Elway's bullet passes would leave right on your chest.
Expect more from an original. Original Coors. Brewed a mile high.
Coors in a yellow can. Now that's original.
Steve Spurrier bombed Hal Mummy last year. Is revenge a factor?
Florida, Kentucky at 7:30, Saturday on ESPN.
Back at Lane Stadium, the Virginia Tech Hokie can breathe a sigh of relief because their All-American Corey Moore, the update, back spasms, low back spasms, not that unusual on a cool night, particularly when you get hyperextended like he did a moment ago on a tackle. So he's back in the ballgame okay, but not very good news for their backup center, Tim Snecker, a fractured right lower leg, including both bones, the tibia and fibula. He's out for the year.
It's a terrible blow for them, Jerry. Thanks. 4th and 1 after the timeout. With Corey Moore back on the field, Clemson still going to go for it, trailing by 14. Oh, a nice play call. Brian Walker gets the first down to the 41-yard line. 8-yard pickup.
We sat down with Tommy Bowden this morning. What did he tell us?
Go for it.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. We're coming in here. We're playing the 8th-ranked team in the country. Let's just have some fun, turn it loose, and if we get some opportunities to take some chances, we're going to do it. First chance he gets, 4th down, they go with the reverse. Great call.
And well executed.
Yep.
Like that little play, too. Zachary's the lone back. Pass from Gardner. Nothing open, so he runs it to the 40-yard line. I wasn't sure that was a backwards pass. The wrinkles in the playbook are all the way out, as you said, wide open tonight. Gardner was recruited as a quarterback, moved to safety, and eventually wide receiver, so he would be one of the players with a trick play option. Nobody in the backfield. Reader finds Mal Lawyer. Moved it forward, depending on that spot. Here, first down, and a late flag comes down about 9 seconds after the play was over. And it's on Clemson, I believe. That would be the latest holding penalty I've ever seen. It'll probably be from the spot of the foul, so it won't be second and forever.
As much pressure as Virginia Tech is applying on Clemson, the thing that's amazing is that
illegal block in the back on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and you repeat second down.
Wow. Is that they want to try to get the ball off under 3 seconds. They were so proud of the fact that, hey, we're an offense that gets rid of the football. Whether we're in the shotgun, we get under center, we're going to get rid of the ball. Yet tonight, so far, they've been under pressure every single throw.
They haven't had 3 seconds to get rid of it, to be honest. Second and 14, Zachary. runs for 6 yards. Travis Zachary was in Tommy Bowden's doghouse, suspended from spring practice after being arrested for disorderly conduct on campus. Set on the scout team through fall ball. Bowden has laid the law down, had some players leave the program, got Zachary's attention, followed the letter of the law, was a model citizen in the summer, allowed back on the team. It happens with any coach his first time there. Like, send a few messages and let them know you mean biz. 3rd and 8. Looking long and caught at the 10-yard line. It was up there for a long time, but Rod Gardner brought it down. 29-yarder.
We talked about the release time and trying to get rid of the football under about 2.8. Here he has to go with the pump. There it is, 2.2 seconds, gets the ball off. He still gets annihilated, but he gets the ball off and a simple hitch and go route. And they got Ike Charlton to bite, and a nice catch there by number 23, Rod Gardner.
On 1st and goal, movement on the left side of the line. I think they got T.J. Watkins, the sophomore, who's had a tough first quarter and a half.
Dead ball, false start on the offense. 5 yards. Repeat first down.
And if you were wondering how they got that ball off, they put a back that time on Corey Moore and just blocked him right there. I was watching it.
I know. You're dialed in on that Corey Moore situation.
I want to know why all of a sudden they got a chance to throw it that long.
All right, 2.8. I mean, he still gets killed.
That's right, but they're getting smarter. They put a back on him that time.
Whew, they might want to get a couple backs.
At least 2.
He's still getting in there.
56 on the left side. Took to Jason LeMay, the tight end, to try to keep him out. Streeter. They have some running in this mostly passing package for the quarterback. It'll be 2nd and goal.
I wouldn't be surprised to start to see them try to get the running game going a little bit out of the shotgun and then try to run the bootleg towards Corey Moore, because he's going to come down so hard on that back, and then you can kind of get to the outside of him. That's the one good thing about his pursuit and his aggression. Try to take advantage of it any way you can.
Moore off the field for 2nd and goal. They bring pressure. Streeter hit as he throws incomplete. Chris Cyrus, who got the start tonight because of the injury to Nat Williams. That was just a numbers game, and the guys in maroon had more.
Nice quickness. Only 6'2", 238 pounds. That's not really big for a defensive lineman, but nice quickness. All these Virginia Tech linemen come off the ball real well.
You know what? You talk about the size, 6'2", 238. You look at Moore. He's a smaller defensive end. They're doing exactly what you saw Washington and Miami do in the early 90s. They downsized, got more speed at their defensive ends and at the linebacker positions.
3rd and goal. Must be in the end zone. And a block from Zachary, throw back the other way, and the tight end, LeMay, gets blown up by Ike Charlton.
When you see a defensive play like that, you've got to give the defensive coordinator a lot of credit, because his team is not being fooled. Bud Foster's done a nice job of keeping everybody in good position, boy.
Lee, I can't agree with you anymore. We saw it earlier with Corey Moore staying at home. Here's Bud Foster, one of the best defensive coordinators in college football. We saw it earlier with Corey Moore staying at home on the reverse. That time, Charlton staying there for the delay in the tight end route. That's a dangerous throw there.
3 of 6 on field goals as a team. 3rd attempt for Campbell. A 27-yarder. And it's good. So Chris Campbell, the junior from Clemson, South Carolina, puts the Tigers on the board. Yes, we kicked a field goal. We got some points. Down 11.
Now playing on the Johnny Carson Show, Super Dave Osborne comes bearing gifts.
Are these expensive?
Well, they're about $20 to the general public, but to a brilliant entertainer like yourself, it's my gift for you.
Well, hey, not nice.
I need $20.
Oh, 20 bucks. The one and only nose flautist, Abby J. Don't miss the Johnny Carson Show, now playing on Channel 198, only on DirecTV.
Welcome to paradise.
On the next episode of The Lost World, the explorers discover the secret of eternal youth.
A life of pleasure
beautiful forever.
There's just one catch.
Something deadly.
There's a problem in this paradise.
It feeds you and you feed it.
And it's hungry.
No!
On the next all-new episode of The Lost World. Counting down to number 1, this tennis champion dominated the game with her power and skill and changed it with her courage. Sports Century athlete number 19, Martina Navratilova. Tomorrow at 10:30 on ESPN, presented by General Motors.
Five-year-old Tommy Bowden, 21 years in coaching, an assistant, stops 11 different places along the way to his head coaching job at Tulane, where he had him second in the nation in scoring, and here at Clemson he gets him on the board against Virginia Tech, 14-3.
And he's so excited about it. Remember in our meeting, he said all he wanted to do was show progress, and 3 points was progress from the shutout. That's why he was so excited. He got 3 points. They got shut out last year. His team is on the move.
They're moving. I don't know if he's excited for 3. I think he wanted 6 here.
37-0 was the score last year. Virginia Tech winning at Death Valley. A 31-point second quarter was all she wrote in that one. Jamie Samady to kick off. Shyrone Stith will have a run up from the 4. Stith with an opening to the 38-yard line. Good field position for Michael Vick.
At this point in the game, Michael Vick is beginning to settle down. He's getting close now to a few possessions under his belt. He's shown the ability to run and throw. Michael Vick is going to be a super quarterback. Once he gets more experience by the end of this year, this team, as Coach Corso has pointed out, is a team to remember at the end of the year with the BCS.
Stith and Cullen Hawkins are the backs. Hawkins the fullback. Leads the way for Stith. Right through the attempted tackle from Braxton K. Williams.
One thing about him, Stith, that impressed me is his muscular build. 5'8", 209 pounds, and look at those arms, and look at those legs. He's a strong, good-looking runner. He breaks tackles.
He's had an interesting road to get to the point where he is at this point in his career. He had to go through a redshirt year 2 years ago, and he has fought his way back into the starting lineup now. Now he is the guy. There's nobody else there, and he's taken advantage of those opportunities. You're right, Coach. We saw him, sat down with him. He is a powerful, kind of low center of gravity, and he's tough to bring down.
On his way to a third straight 100-yard game. The reason he had to sit the redshirt year, they had so many good backs. Ken Oxendine, who's now going to see a lot more carries.
Yeah,
Oxendine in Atlanta now with the Falcons because of the Jamal Anderson injury. He's going to see the field more. Frank Beamer also had Parker and Lamont Pegues in the backfield. So they went to Stith and said, would you take the year? It'll be good for the team and good for you. You'll be the guy for a couple of years. And here's the year to be the guy.
That's right.
Good offensive coordinator down. 2nd and 1. They decide to run it and just pick it up.
Shyrone Stith on the carry.
And they do across the 50
First
with
down,
Stith.
Hokies.
Well, speaking of the NFL, you'll see it in prime time on ABC and ESPN this weekend. Starting Sunday Night Football, Giants D gave up 50. They can use a little offense against Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots. Game time after prime time. Monday Night Football, Steve Young and the Niners. They keep Steve from getting hit so often against Jake the Snake, Jake Plummer, and the comeback cards in the desert. ABC and ESPN, your exclusive home for the National Football League in prime time. Throw on 1st and 10. Vick fires on the run. Stith could have caught it, but the linebacker, the middle backer, Chad Carson, on the way back, never looked back at the ball.
Interference on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, and it's going to be a first down.
You know it's a good offensive call when you get 46 Chad Carson man-to-man on 38 Stith. Man for man, can't cover him. That time he had no idea where the football was.
And that's why the call was made once again. We saw that earlier this year where his back is to the quarterback, and he simply lost. And more than anything, they're going to throw the flag because he looks confused as opposed to just pushing. He didn't look like he pushed a lot there.
Last 4 flags on Clemson. Ferguson for a few. Jarrett's a sophomore out of Goodview, Virginia.
I want to make this statement now so you guys understand whatever happens. I want to make a comment on it.
Sure.
Good football teams answer.
Right.
Good football teams answer. They allowed 3 points. Now they got the football. Let's see if they answer. That'll tell you how good a football team they are.
Frank Beamer's team hasn't been in that position very much this year because of their victories. 47-0 over James Madison, 31-10 over Alabama-Birmingham. Alabama-Birmingham's points came in the second quarter. Only giving up 1 touchdown in nearly 10 quarters. The Tech defense. Dropped by Andre Kendrick.
Vick's pass intended for Andre Kendrick, incomplete.
Michael Vick does the things, the types of things that people in the Big East have seen for 4 years in Syracuse with Donovan McNabb. Matter of fact, Syracuse and Virginia Tech were the 2 schools hot on the trail of Michael Vick in recruiting. Michael Vick made it very clear he wanted to be the first Michael Vick, not in the line of Don McPherson, Marvin Graves, and then Donovan McNabb, the Syracuse quarterbacks who ran it well, threw it well, and added the extra dimension.
Not to mention he wanted to stay near home.
Absolutely.
He wanted his family to be able to watch him.
3rd and 7. Here come the Tigers. Vick gets away. It's going to be just shy of a first down. And actually, it's incomplete. Thought it was scooped up by Andre Davis, but it was not.
This is something new to the Virginia Tech offense. Typically, it is a team that is known for their ability to run the football and play great defense. Here, his ability to improvise, avoid the rush, buy some time, and get the ball thrown downfield. Even though they didn't pick up the first down, that dimension makes this Hokie offense much, much more difficult to prepare for.
Shayne Graham is the all-time leading scorer in the Big East Conference and in Virginia Tech history. This is a 48-yarder. Nope.
You see, Clemson's been outplayed this whole game.
Right. Yo, chicken coop. Remember, mark it down. They did not answer.
Right. Clemson down 11. We'll be right back. Chicken coop.
Introducing Blue from American Express, a whole new kind of credit card.
When I'm with you, baby, I go out of my head. I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. All the things you do to me and everything you say. I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. We slip and slide as we fall in love, and I just can't seem to get enough. I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough.
It must rain 9 to 10 inches for every Laura Ashley peony to bloom. It must be perpetually misty for hedgerows to turn true green. It must be cloudy and damp for a garden rose to flourish. Aren't you glad you don't have to live in England to enjoy the countryside? Laura Ashley Home, now only as far away as Lowe's.
The Hokies are known for defense on and off the field. We've got 2 Big East championships and 7 Medal of Honor winners to prove it.
Is that an intimidating look or what?
Scooter, you think you could take him on?
He's got those Betty Davis eyes, doesn't he? Mike Singletary.
That's right.
No thanks. Look at him. I had no part of him.
Corey Moore on campus here at Virginia Tech. Fine military tradition at the Virginia Polytechnic Institute in Blacksburg, Virginia. And the number 8 team in the country calls home. Clemson down 11. Streeter finds Mal Lawyer for 8 yards. A flag is down.
We've been talking about Corey Gill all night. Here's the discipline. Up at the top of the screen, stays at home, goes right through Streeter to make the tackle. Here, a nice rip to the inside to take down Travis Zachary as they try to run. And here's what he's known for, the outside speed rush. Once again, getting to Streeter. He's been doing it all night long, and we're just getting started. What's he going to do in the second half? Because they can't block him right now.
Nope.
They cannot slow him down.
Although, when he lost his breath for a little bit, it was out for a couple of plays, and they did a little bit better job on him. Clemson ran a 14-play drive. Their first 4 drives, they totaled 15 plays. Able to keep the ball and keep the chains moving. They took the penalty. Moore lined up in the neutral zone there. So it's 1st and 5. Right back to Lawyer, who picks up a first down at the 43. So how about all these Clemson receivers? You're in a program where you come in high, you're a wide receiver, block. We're going to throw you maybe 1 or 2 a game. Just learn how to block real hard. And then here comes Tommy Bowden. You're going to go set all kinds of passing and catching records this year.
I think Tommy was surprised when he came in that he had guys like Lawyer and Wofford and Gardner, guys that can make plays on the outside.
Move the pocket, try to stay away from Moore, and complete to the 49-yard line. Nice job of hurdling the Gatorade by Wofford. He almost had one of those NFL film shots.
Well, we know one thing. We know Rich Rodriguez's game plan for the second half. Roll out.
Get out of there.
Get out of there and throw quick passes.
Five receivers on 2nd and 3. Tech bringing 6. Caught by Gardner to the 44-yard line. Poor Mr. Streeter. I mean,
this is shortstop play. This is turning the double play for Brandon Streeter. That's one of the things that they talk about. They work on it in camp. They work on it in practice. Even in the pregame, they work on Brandon Streeter and his footwork. There, he just got the ball, moved the hips, and delivered the football.
Moving the chains, too. Herbie, 1st and 10 now for the Tigers. Surveying the situation. Man broke free, and Lawyer couldn't catch up to the ball. Streeter almost had 6.
Intended for Mal Lawyer, incomplete. Corey Moore.
Got it before Mr. Moore got to him.
It's imperative for Clemson to slow down not only Corey Moore, but the Virginia Tech pass rush. The only way you can do that is to beat them deep. It's called zero coverage, which means man all the way across, and there's absolutely no help in the back. All this room back here, when it's like that, Clemson's offense has got to be able to take advantage of it. Here, the coverage is a little bit softer.
Keep bringing one more than they're keeping into block. Incomplete. Second to check in with Chris Fowler back in the studio. Chris?
Well, coming up on the Original Coors halftime report, Mike, we'll have a pennant race update. We'll have the hidden video, the halftime blitz. We'll talk about the Badgers and the Wolverines. Michigan won 18 straight Big Ten openers. Of course, most against Corso's teams. And as Kirk knows, they usually win the last game as well.
Killing you guys. He's killing you. They are left speechless, Chris. It's all about business.
No. Very businesslike, very serious from this end. They can have all the humor they want from the other end. Businesslike.
It's all information.
Solid numbers, information, right?
There's no smile.
No smiling.
All information, my friend.
Clemson was forced to take a time out there. You talk about Tommy Bowden coming to Clemson and changing the perception of Clemson football. Run the ball, run the ball. But I think you guys brought up a good point early. They still have the defensive persona and that personality. This is not a situation where he came in, there were a bunch of seniors to take over on this team.
He did a smart thing, too. He kept Reggie Herring there.
Sure.
Very good defensive coordinator. Tommy Bowden's like Steve Spurrier. He's got to have a good defensive coach there so he can take his time and work on the offense.
Yeah, that's something that they want to try to do is try to incorporate the defense and offensive schemes where Tommy has the flexibility where he can stick with the offense but trust the defensive coordinator. I agree with you, Coach. I thought that was a great move in holding on to Reggie Herring.
Well, can this offense work and win over the longtime fans who all they know is Frank Howard's offense and Clemson football in the days when Danny Ford won the title?
If they win, forget about it. They lose, should run the ball.
You see the futility on third down tonight. And they need to get to the 33. They may have some time to throw the ball here. Oh, a man broke free. Broken up. The offensive coaches for Clemson want pass interference because that's the same situation Kirk has talked about. Corey Bird never looked back at the ball, just kept running and kept running. Fourth down.
But that was a nice looking play because you know what? He had a number like 16, not 46, and he had enough athletic ability to turn around and cover the guy and just make a good play right there. See, he was going for the football.
He was going for the football.
Yeah, he was.
Well,
He looked like he was going for the football more than the receiver.
More so than the time that Clemson was on defense.
Plus 46 just looks like he shouldn't be back there. 16 should.
Ryan Romano is punting.
Corey Bird has that look to him, right?
Yeah, he does.
An athletic look.
See what the Tech special teams can do. The fans are starting to chant block that kick. They haven't seen one yet this year. Delay of game. No harm here from the 43. Fans were loud enough that they did not hear it.
You know, Mike, what happens when you get a team that has a personality blocking kicks and people work on it so much, you have a tendency then to return them better because the teams stay back and block more instead of running down and cover. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't break one tonight on a punt return.
The other thing it does is it makes the punter so conscious. All he has heard all week long is about this rush. Look out for the rush. Get it off, get it off, get it off. It's going to make him a little bit rattled back there.
And it was a long week.
Yeah.
11 days to prepare, which helps you in preparation, but maybe not inside the helmet. Good job by Romano. It'll be out of bounds. And at the 24-yard line. Tech ball when we come back. 2:17 remaining. And one timeout for the Hokies to add to an 11-point edge. Mike Lee Kirk and Doc Punch with you here in Blacksburg, Virginia. 2:17 until the original Coors halftime report. Messrs. Fowler, Gottfried, and Gilmore. Michael Vick and the Hokies run it first. Stith is stopped. No gain for Shyrone. Jason Holloman the stop.
Michael Vick got off to a slow start, but he's beginning to warm up. A lot of that is thanks to the play of the offensive line and being able to run the ball here, showing the ability to sit in that pocket, very comfortable. Also, clearly can get to the outside, can improvise. Watch the shake here. Goodbye, right down the field. And then the option, freeze option. They take away the pitch, and he shows what he can do with his feet. Ability to cut back, and then the speed in the open field. He is going to be a dangerous quarterback as this year goes on.
2nd and 10 with the clock moving, and Vick moving. Staying right with him, almost like a spy, was Keith Adams. Will Clemson try to stop the clock here with 1:30 to go?
One thing that reminds me of this kid is a negative. Reminds me of Michael Bishop from Kansas State, running the ball and holding it out too much. Remember how Bishop made those plays and fumbled it? If he doesn't learn to tuck that ball away a little bit more, people are going to start stripping it. That's one thing I can see negative on him.
That's when he scrambles, but he looks much more comfortable and confident sitting in the pocket than Michael ever did.
Yeah, but Bishop fumbled when he was running.
Yeah.
Cost him the national championship. Well, shot at it.
3rd and 10. Tech keeps it on the ground. Stith nearly lost the ball as he picked up the first down with 55 seconds to go. Robert Carswell made the stop.
As much as we're talking about Michael Vick, I pointed out the offensive line and Shyrone Stith. The key for Virginia Tech, no matter how good Michael Vick will ever be, is going to be they've got to be able to run the football on 1st and 10. Mix in some play action, but run the football. That sets up everything else with this offense.
Original Corps halftime report coming up. Vick throws on the move. Out of bounds for Andre Davis. First down. 39 seconds left, so they run twice, get nothing. To get the 3rd and 10, 11-yard run. And now they get a chance to get in field goal range.
Exactly. And you know what this does for a quarterback? You know this, Kirk. This gives him tremendous feelings that the staff has a lot of faith in him to try to score with 39 seconds to go in a game. And a half.
4 receivers from Virginia Tech. And the blitz eats up Vick. Keith Adams was coming. Terry Bryant finished him off. Timeout Hokies.
There's the speed of Keith Adams there. That even started with the snap. The snap was high. Nothing Michael Vick could do as far as trying to improvise and create. Takes the snap off to his right. Now he starts to bail, and as he bails, he runs right into Keith Adams.
Remember, Ricky Bussell, the offensive coordinator, told us that Michael said, "You block them all but one,
and I can take it.
I'll take care of that other guy." He had 2 that time.
Yeah.
No can do.
No can do. Sorry, Coach. New scheme necessary.
Adams and his Clemson defense. Young at the linebacking core. All 3 are sophomores. But they've added to the ACC's top sack total thus far. You know, Reggie Herring's defense was in the top 25 the last 2 years. They were 3-8 last year, but they were not too far from being 6-5 because they were in so many close games.
How about 6 guys drafted from the defense from Clemson more than anybody else in college football off of defense?
That's what made it so interesting, that they were able last week or 2 weeks ago to shut down a good Virginia running game with Thomas Jones. You know, they shut them down, and the big concern about this defense coming into the year was the youth of the linebackers, and they have really stepped up so far this year for the Clemson Tiger defense.
2nd and 19 out of 4 ride. They run Stith. Shyrone Stith to the 37 with 25 seconds left. They are in field goal range. Andre Davis downfield blocking. Helped extend it. See, Tech cannot stop the clock. Stith over 100 yards as Vick kills the clock with 21 to go.
How's that for time management?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just going to say. You know, for a redshirt freshman, recognizing that his man's breaking out, he's going to get the first down, clock's going to stop, he's yelling at everybody. As they're all kind of just making their way downfield, he's pushing them, yelling for them to line up so he can fire the ball into the ground.
Time management cost Notre Dame 2 big games. Just helped them right there, Tech.
2nd and 10. Vick with time. Intercepted by Carswell. Nearly deflected and a touchdown. Carswell will go out of bounds to 24. Vick's 2nd interception of the half. And Clemson will come out of here not giving up any points in this drive. 3rd turnover for Virginia Tech.
24-yard return.
Immaturity and inexperience from Michael Vick. He will learn not to make this throw. Just lays it up in the air. Carswell just sitting back there playing center field, and the ball just comes right to him. They were fighting for it, but here there's plenty of protection, Coach.
Almost had too much time.
Yeah, plenty of time. That's not an issue. He took a chance. He saw his receiver beginning to break open, but he did not look and see Carswell, and Carswell deflected the ball and eventually made the pick.
They'll kill the clock and end the half.
Not bad. Chance to get a touchdown at the end of the half. Good call.
Oh, congratulations, Robert Carswell. 3 years of playing, his first interception. Frank Beamer's team turned it over 3 times, but scored on back-to-back drives. They lead by 11 as we send it back to the studio to Chris, Rod, Head Coach Gottfried.
Well, Mike, thank you. That Hokie defense, guys, as advertised. I just wish that Corey Moore played with more fire. Huh? Are you kidding me? That guy's an animal.
You think Brandon Streeter's parents like this guy? Probably not. You know, Tommy Bowden's got to find a way to get some protection. Minimum protection he's using, getting receivers out there. That's leaving Brandon Streeter just like a tackling dummy for Corey Moore.
Biggest mismatch I saw in the first half was the Virginia Tech offensive line. They've got the Clemson defensive linemen on skates anytime they want them.
That's a bad thing, right?
Oh,
Skates going backward.
Bad.
Coming up on our Original Coors halftime report, our Blitzers will stop by, fill you in on 4 of the top 5 teams in the country on the road and on upset alert, including phenomenal Alex Brown and the Gators at Kentucky. Plus, the miracle at the Yale Bowl, our hidden video, and a pennant race update straight ahead.
You can buy a Gateway Essential PC for $899. Or you can buy a PC from a bargain basement company for $499. Call 1-800-GATEWAY for a Gateway Essential PC with an Intel Celeron processor.
Trouble doesn't wear a watch. That's why State Farm offers its 24-hour Good Neighbor service from participating agents.
Hello, State Farm's Good Neighbor service. This is Gina. How may I help you? Sure, I can help you with that.
So you can call your agent's office at any time, day or night, to start a claim, ask a question, and get the help you need.
Remember life in the fast lane? I do. First you meet, then you get married. And things slowed down.
Yeah, right.
To help you keep up, drive the supercharged Regal GS Sports Sedan. Plenty of room, standard traction control, and the most power in its class. Get up to $35.67 average finance savings with 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on 1999 Regals. Official car of the supercharged family.
This halftime report is presented by Original Coors. Expect more from an original. Original Coors.
Welcome back. We'll talk plenty of college football in just a second, but first, a pennant race update. Now, you're the Mets. You're facing the Braves. It's a one-run game. Chipper Jones is at the plate. You know he's killed you the past few games. Gilmore says, walk him. Put him on first. Gottfried says no. You challenge him. Go to the highlights here. Here's why the Mets could not get a cushion, because in the 5th inning, Ricky Henderson's on first with 1 out. Edgardo Alfonso doubles to left off Greg Maddox. Henderson rounding second. Gerald Williams picks up the ball, and Ricky runs right through the stop sign at third base. Brett Boone's throwing the relay, gets it. Still 2-1 in the 5th, and here comes Chipper. Mike.
I told you to walk him.
To him. Jones deep to left center off Al Leiter. A 3-run shot, his 45th, and his 4th in the 3-game series as the Braves beat New York 6-3. So Atlanta now 4 games up on the Mets in the East. 3 more head-to-head meetings next week in New York. The Mets still lead Herb Street's Reds by 2 games in the wild card chase. American League, Blue Jays and Red Sox, 4th inning, tied at 2. Butch Husky, monster shot to the deepest part of Fenway, 2-run homer. Red Sox up 4-2. In the bottom of the 7th, Toronto is threatening, but Boston still has the 5-4 lead. They're 4 games behind the Yankees. They lead the A's by a fairly comfortable, although Red Sox fans would never believe that, 4.5 games at this point. Now to college football. Michigan, Wisconsin. Barry Alvarez says you better be prepared to get hit. You better like it rough in this rivalry. Wisconsin coming off that shocking loss to Cincinnati, but here come the Wolverines. 2 strong defenses, 2 inconsistent, struggling offenses looking for ways to try to stretch the defense, or else it's going to be a long day for both offenses.
Well, you look at Wisconsin's offense. They're going against a Michigan defense that a lot of people think is as good as the national championship defense. Ron Dane's got a bad ankle, but they're going to run the zone play, and they're going to run the zone play 25 times against this Michigan defense. It starts over the right guard, but look how Ron Dane cuts it back, Rod. He's a great cutback runner, and he's going to need to gain a lot of yardage to have a shot at Michigan.
Well, you can run that zone play 30 times, 40 times. It doesn't matter against this defense. Michigan does not mind playing Ron Dane. Dane, only 63 yards in his career against Michigan. Why? He's only played one game, so they'll be ready for him. It's going to be up to Scott Kavanaugh to have a great game. He's got to get the ball down the field, like you said.
You'd think they're going to shut him down. They have shut down Notre Dame and Syracuse, two excellent running teams. In the SEC, an important game for a lot of folks. Arkansas meets Alabama. The Hogs quarterback, Clint Sterner, he's got a shoulder injury. It's not 100%. He says it is affecting his throwing, but it's improving. He's going to try to give it a go. Redshirt freshman Bobby Hampton is the backup if he can't go.
Yeah, but the thing for them really is Shaun Alexander. You know, getting the ball to the right man, making sure he is able to do something. And what does Alexander do more than anything else? If you get him one-on-one with the linebacker, as he is here with Jeremy Matton of Houston, he'll kill you. You see, he gets out, breaks to the outside. There he is, one-on-one. Arkansas knows they can't afford to allow a linebacker to get matched up with him, Coach.
No, without a doubt, they'll rip him if he does. But he has to run the football. Run, Sean, run for Alabama to win. Now, he's going to catch some passes out of the backfield, but he needs to run and establish a ground game for Alabama. When you look at his statistics, he's only had one touchdown versus a ranked team. He had 48 yards against Arkansas last year on 21 carries. All the tough teams that played Alabama last year shut him down in the run game.
Interesting, Alexander and Dane have both faced that criticism. They don't do it well enough against the good defenses. Both will have chances on Saturday. Speaking of running, Virginia Tech gets some scrambling from the quarterback, Michael Vick. A couple of first-half touchdowns for the Hokies. They're up 14-3 over Clemson.
In 16 years, John Elway took over 19,000 snaps. Through it all, he always had good things to say about his offensive line. When asked why he chose to play in Denver, Elway pointed to his linemen and said, "Why Denver? I like being surrounded by mountains."
Expect more from an original. Original Coors, brewed a mile high.
Coors in a yellow can. Now that's original.
Folks, are you still buying chicken sandwiches from those burger boys? Why? Some of them boys grill their chicken dry as an old shoe. My new tender roast sandwich is deep marinated so it's full of flavor, slow roasted so it's tender and juicy. Try my new tender roast sandwich. Right now it's just $1.99. $1.99? I could do that. I'm the colonel. At KFC, we do chicken right. In the bucket and now on a bun.
There's a lot more to working at AutoZone than looking up parts or ringing up sales. And it has to do with taking pride in taking care of customers. Like testing an old part before selling a new one. Or simply having what they need when they need it. In other words, it's about taking care of people who take care of cars. And that's what we do best at AutoZone.
The original Coors halftime report continues with our halftime blitzers. The Gators on letdown alert in Lexington. Cincinnati tries to make it 2 shockers in a row as the Buckeyes brace for the Bearcats. But first up, Dan Le Batard in the East with a battle of East Carolina and Miami. A couple of teams trying to combat different types of psychological trauma.
Power outages, scarce water supplies, flooding so bad that planes at the local airport have water up to their wings. Having survived Hurricane Floyd, ECU now braces for Miami's hurricanes, even though 15 to 20 ECU players have lost their apartments and everything in them. The game has been moved to Raleigh from Greenville, where conditions are so bad that the team stayed in South Carolina after beating the Gamecocks last weekend and has been using Lou Holtz's practice facilities all week. Meanwhile, Miami has been enduring a decidedly different kind of devastation, coming off a Penn State loss that represents the most stunning defeat since Doug Flutie's Hail Mary prayer was answered. Now to the Southeast and Tony Barnhart.
After last week's emotional win over Tennessee, will Florida have a letdown Saturday night at Kentucky? The Wildcats sure hope so, because they'll need that and a whole lot more. By leading the nation in touchdown passes, quarterback Dusty Bonner has made the departure of Tim Couch a little easier to take. But Bonner operates behind an offensive line that includes 1 junior, 3 sophomores, and a freshman. Uh-oh. Dusty, say hello to Alex Brown, who's quickly becoming a quarterback's worst nightmare. Now, Coach Hal Money says he'll have a plan for Brown, but the Cats' best hope is that Alex the Great misses the team bus. Florida will be without big-time receiver Travis Taylor, but it won't matter. The Gators beat the Cats for the 13th straight time and starting getting ready for Alabama. Now let's go out to the Midwest with Gene Wojciechowski.
This was supposed to be Ohio State's tune-up for next week's game against Wisconsin. But after Cincinnati's upset of the Badgers, well, the Bearcats now have Ohio State's full and undivided attention. The Buckeyes haven't played Cincinnati since 1931, and they haven't lost to an in-state team in 78 years. Now that Steve Belisari has established himself as a starter, Kenyon Rambo has flourished. 15 receptions, 4 touchdowns, 240 receiving yards, all from Belisari. Deontay Kenner and Robert Cooper are the ones to watch for Cincinnati. Can they pull off a second consecutive top 25 shocker? Well, put it this way. Wisconsin is rooting for them. Now to the West and Holly Rowe.
Stanford quarterback Todd Husick is off to another record-setting season. His latest, back-to-back 50-point wins. But Husick told me the real credit on their offense has been the emergence of the running game. Part of the reason, true freshman Kerry Carter. Carter came in early this summer and learned the playbook terminology, so he's had a head start. He's also improved as a receiver and a protector, and that's why he's in the starting lineup. For UCLA, Bob Toledo named a starting quarterback last week, but Corey Paws is out this week with bruised ribs, so former walk-on Drew Bennett will get the start. And for Bob Toledo, he says all of their starters are back from the parking scandal. He wants to put it behind them. Their theme this week in practice is Together. He says he hopes everyone can forget it, but he knows at least one group won't, the Stanford Band.
Thank you, Blitzers. Virginia Tech has a quarterback who can run and a running back who's a former high school quarterback. Andre Kendrick in the house, 14-3 Virginia Polytechnic Institute.
The biggest stars, the hottest concert. Ricky Martin, Shania Twain, plus Spice Girl Jerry Halliwell, Boyzone, and the Eurythmics, all in concert for the Prince's Trust. Party in the Park 99. Be there Saturday, September 25th.
Everyone's talking about Multimax. We mean everybody.
Hello.
Because Multimax has 3 great channels. This month on Cinemax, a different movie every night at 8. A star-studded first on Max crime comedy.
Oh, goody.
And a chance to hang with Eddie and more Eddie.
How you doing?
And on More Max, check out more big hits, Vanguard films, and classic funnies. Find out what all the buzz is about. Go for Max, Max West, and more Max. Uh-oh. Multimax. 3 great channels on DirecTV.
Later on SportsCenter, we'll break down the Mets' breakdown in their series with the Braves. The Cowboys may be ready for primetime again, and golf's biggest names tee it up as the U.S. looks for redemption at the Ryder Cup. SportsCenter, Dan Patrick, Rich Eisen after the game.
He's everywhere. He's on the radio, every commercial. He's on SportsCenter. Time now for Hidden Video and the Original Coors Halftime Report. This is a special request from Chris Berman. We always grant his requests. Last year, Yale beat Brown, controversial finish. This year, payback at the Yale Bowl. Brown scores a touchdown to cut it to a 1-point game with 14 seconds left. A PAT would force overtime.
In this case, I agree. You go for the tie with the extra point and take your chances in overtime. Jensen's extra point try is blocked! Powell picks it up, laterals, and Brown's gonna get the point! Oh my goodness gracious!
Unbelievable! Oh, payback is sweet at the Yale Bowl. Brown wins it by a point. Well, noon, Penn State, Indiana. Battle in Happy Valley. And then Florida, Kentucky. Is Tony right? Do the Gators roll easily? Or does Kentucky make it close? Good day in the Deuce. Northwestern and Purdue. Miami on letdown alert against East Carolina. And that excellent Virginia-BYU matchup at 9 Eastern. Those games on the Deuce Saturday.
Back in his college baseball days, John Elway would stand at the plate and try to muscle the ball over the fence. Every once in a while, he'd get one to clear the .335 mark and left, but just barely. If you figured Elway to have more power than that, you got to remember one thing. That's a pretty long throw.
Expect more from an original. Original Coors, brewed a mile high.
My beer? It's got to be original.
You're probably wondering how I got this spot. 100 collect calls a day with 1-800-CALL-ATT. 1-800-CALL-ATT.
For the same low rate every minute, everywhere, dial 1-800-CALL-ATT.
now to own on video and DVD. Bring home the effects. The Mummy. He's here. Buy it September 28th at a great low price.
My purpose is to establish a high seminary of learning.
Imagine a place that could grow from such a vision. A university where tomorrows are created every day. Right here in Thomas Clemson's backyard. Clemson University. Imagine the possibilities.
The latest edition of ESPN the Magazine. Find out how Michael Jordan's been spending his free time. In college football, Louisiana stoked for a Josh Booty revival. And our Mike Godfrey breaks down this year's quarterback class. Plus, we thought we'd seen everything. But Mac, Sammy are at it again. Home run derby. And also, the kids from Columbine put a whole lot more than their pride on the line. ESPN the Magazine on newsstands now. Well, it's Tech at halftime. You guys have seen a half of this game. Is Virginia Tech a legitimate national title contender? They got Miami and Syracuse coming to their place.
Well, I think they're definitely a top 5, top 6 football team. Question is, I don't know if Michael Vick can win a game for them down the line that they may have to against Syracuse and Miami or somebody.
I'll answer that question for you. He can. They're a definite national championship threat because they have everything. They got a good offense, good offensive line, good defensive line, good defense, good special teams.
Well, they've owned Miami, that's for sure. They can beat Syracuse at home. Have to guard against that letdown. Virginia Tech always has that one scare. You recall the Temple game a couple of years ago. It was the biggest upset of the 90s. So just watch those teams you should beat, right?
That's the game Vic will have to win.
The Temple game?
Yeah.
14-3 Hokies. Mike, Kirk, Jerry, and Lee coming by.
Hi, I'm Shawnae Jebbia, and this month on Platinum Presents, we hit the links at the Country Club in Brookline, Massachusetts for an exciting preview of the 33rd Ryder Cup, courtesy of the Golf Channel. We'll take a swing at some of the awesome programming available when you tee off. We've got a month of mega movie previews from HBO, Stars, and Showtime, a fantastic Fox Sports Net report, plus so much more. It's all happening this month on Platinum Presents on Channel 500. See you there.
See movies, new hit movies on the Stars $1 Billion Box Office Weekend. Tune in October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd to see the Stars free preview with Hollywood's hottest new hits like Armageddon.
This is as real as it gets.
The Waterboy and 6 Days, 7 Nights. See new hit movies 100% free. October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd on the Stars $1 Billion free preview.
Our lakes and ponds are threatened by mercury poisoning. But in the future, a non-toxic alternative will protect the environment. And it's happening now at Virginia Tech. Someday, your car won't need a driver. Smart roads will sense weather conditions for safer new cars. It's happening now. Virginia Tech. Knowledge at work.
ESPN Game Plan. Maximum college football on pay-per-view. Order now, and no matter where you live, you can watch any of these 9 matchups. Ole Miss heads to Auburn to battle their former coach, Tommy Tuberville and the Tigers. Plus, conference play heats up as number 4 Michigan heads to Madison to battle 17th-ranked Wisconsin. Colorado travels to Husky Stadium to take on their old coach, Washington's Rick Neuheisel. Call your local cable operator, DirecTV, or Dish Network for more information.
Part of the second half game plan for Clemson is keep Brandon Streeter upright. Took a lot of hits, but showed toughness in the first 30 minutes. Clemson trails Virginia Tech 14-3, and the imposing Corey Moore has been the defensive story for Virginia Tech, as he has been most times the last few years. Welcome back to Blacksburg. Mike, Lee, Kirk, and Doc Punch ready for the second half. Well, this is your kind of game because it's simple football when you break it down, when you take all the numbers and put them in the computer. Yeah.
Virginia Tech's winning the football game up front. Offensively, their line is controlling the defensive line of Clemson, knocking them back, controlling line of scrimmage, they're running it. And on Defense, Virginia Tech's putting a tremendous amount of pressure from up front. So I think Tech's win this ball game because of up front play. But I tell you, 11 points is not enough against Clemson.
Well, I agree. Virginia Tech's controlling the line of scrimmage with their offensive line. Very important to help their young quarterback, Michael Vick. And their defense is getting after it. But let's give Clemson a little bit of credit. They struggled early in this game. They had their first 4 possessions. Only 15 plays. Wow. Their quarterback was pressured, only 27 net yards. Now, the last 2 drives, they've gone away from that man, Corey Moore. 18 plays, 100 yards. It's key. You pointed it out, Coach, in the first half towards the end. Rich Rodriguez has found a few things that he feels comfortable with, and the idea is to get the ball away from Corey Moore in that rush.
Jimmy Kibble will kick. Clemson will get the ball to start the second half. Which has the halftime conversation in the locker rooms from Doc Punch in a second. The Kibble kick. Got the E. Right over the E in Hokies. Touchback. Here's Dr. Jerry Punch.
Guys, at halftime, Clemson head coach Tommy Bowden, the eternal optimist, very, very positive with his football team, understanding his quarterback underwent a lot of pressure in the first half. A tremendous amount of pressure on Brandon Streeter, but very proud of the young man's stamina to stay in the pocket. They spreaded him out some, but they may want to keep him closer to the middle of the field and keep him in the pocket and try to protect him a little more in the second half to try to minimize some of those hits and particularly those knockdowns, 11 of them in the first half.
Jerry, when I asked Rich Rodriguez, the offensive coordinator, about Streeter, what do you like? His toughness. He showed it in the first half, and a little fortitude to keep hanging in there and throwing to Rod Gardner and company. It's very close to a first down, just shy of the 30.
Speak of toughness, 9 times out of 10 you're going to talk about an experienced quarterback. He has been through a lot at Clemson, and it just helps him in a situation like this to adjust.
Like to sneak it here just to get the first down and move the chains. And Streeter does that to the 34. What do you think? I don't watch film all week.
Background there. I like that.
What does that have to do with it? Here are the numbers at the break. As you see, Clemson hasn't been able to establish a run, and Virginia Tech dominant. Stith over 100 yards rushing.
And that's big right there for Virginia Tech. That's the key to their offense.
The 3 turnovers helping the Hokies, or keeping the Hokies from pulling away in this one. Well, time here for Streeter. He actually saw a pass get caught by a receiver. Brian Wofford, the senior out of Spartanburg, South Carolina.
He actually didn't get touched on that play. He don't know what to do with himself in that situation. He's waiting to get hit.
Well, one of the reasons he didn't get touched is they put 6 guys on Corey Moore that time.
That time it was 6.
Yeah,
Forget 2.
Forget 2.
Go to 6.
5 receivers, 6 on Moore. You play with 16, you got a chance against Tech, right? The pressure came not from Moore, but Jamel Smith that time. The senior, who this game means a lot to. He's from Columbia, South Carolina.
Jamel Smith, a young man that was not even offered by Clemson. So you don't think this game means a lot to him. Comes off the right. They're so cognizant of Corey Moore that Smith comes right to the outside. That needs to be a side adjust because they didn't have enough people to block all of the pass rush.
2 on Corey Moore.
Leaves it open.
Leaves it open.
Moore will be at the top of your screen on 3rd and 12. On your mark, get set, go. Flag is down in the backfield. They held Corey Moore when he got past Streeter. Take it or take 4th down?
4th down.
Oh, 4th down.
Fine.
4th down.
I'm wondering why there's conversation. It's a no-brainer.
Holding on the offense. The penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
That time, just the presence of Corey Moore. They can't decide if they want to try to run a bootleg outside of him or allow the guard to try to kick him out and cut underneath him. There's some confusion with which way the guard polling was going to block, and therefore Brandon Street was just left there standing, nothing to do. Another great play by Corey Moore.
Fans get excited when the visitors punt here. They just want to see their guys knock one down. Ryan Romano's the kicker. And protection has been very nice. The kick wasn't, though.
You brought up a point early in the game. Because of the pressure, even the thought of him coming makes the guy shank it or kick it short or whatever it is. Remember? And you said he had 9 days to get worried.
He looked worried. 19-yard kick. Here's Gary.
Frank Beamer at halftime in the Virginia Tech locker room, very animated, very concerned about his team dragging a little bit at the end of the first half, not putting a lot of effort in, not playing hard, the penalties and the turnovers. Now, offensively in the second half, look for Michael Vick to go back to the option and run some speed option on the perimeter. They backed off in the first half. They said they saw him limp off the field, and they want to get the ball on the perimeter some early in the second half.
Shyrone Stith runs on first down.
Doc, if I'm Virginia Tech, I mix that speed option in along with the power game. Why go away from the power game and the traps when they cannot stop them? They have over 200 yards rushing in the first half.
Stith with 111 behind Vick. See what Reggie Herring's defense can come up with. Little option here. Vick got up the field and picked up a first down.
The thing that impressed me about Michael Vick is his poise for a young guy, but also his athletic ability. Remember one thing, when you run the speed option, you force the teams to get out of man coverage. He ought to be a better passer now because of his ability to run that speed option.
And remember early in the game when they were stretching that defense?
Yep.
Spreading them, running them to the outside. Next thing you know, boom, they were ripping them up the middle.
When you run the option, you guys, you understand this, you get less coverages, different coverages in the secondary, you become a better passer. That's why Donovan McNabb was a great passer.
Stith does a very nice job. Picked up 4 there of making the first guy miss. It's that all-around combination. You know, when we go in, you ask about a running back. He's got blazing speed. He's tough. He's a plugger. And they said he does everything. And you see some of it on each run.
Here's the leg strength. The best way to describe him is low center of gravity. He's tough to bring down. He's got great balance. And as you indicated, Mike, one guy usually has a tough time bringing him down unless he hits him square.
When you got a tailback running well, you got to give credit number 27, Jared Ferguson. He's been getting in the face of the linebackers.
Out of the gun for 2nd and 7. Vick walked right into it and is brought down and felt the heat from Braxton K. Williams.
Clemson not shy of bringing those linebackers. In fact, with Michael Vick and the youth of Michael Vick, Reggie Herring said it's very clear. They're going to try to attack, try to send the linebackers, make him think back there, and not allow him to dictate what he wants to do. Force his hand a little bit.
Herring's defense will try to keep Virginia Tech from getting to the 31. That's where they need to get to for a first down. Just short and complete. Intended for Andre Davis in a punting situation coming up for Clemson as Vick hobbles his way off the field. It's 4th down. Here comes the punting unit. A reminder, as soon as we're done tonight, it's SportsCenter on ESPN. All the highlights from the entire day, the baseball story, as well as the news from the NFL and college football on SportsCenter right after the game. Punt 2 for Kibble. Their kickers are outstanding. Hit him inside the 10. Joe John Reams dropped it, but got it back. Virginia Tech's guys said, hey, I rolled off the pile with the ball. Chris Cyrus just have to hand it back. We're looking at the ankle of Michael Vick. Timeout.
NFL Tonight, Tuesday through Saturday on ESPN2.
It must rain 9 to 10 inches for every Laura Ashley peony to bloom. It must be perpetually misty for hedgerows to turn true green. It must be cloudy and damp for a garden rose to flourish. Aren't you glad you don't have to live in England to enjoy the countryside? Laura Ashley Home, now only as far away as Lowe's.
We don't build commuter cars. or gets you to work fast pinstriped cars. We don't build cars, period. We build the 205 horsepower, get out of town fast Isuzu Rodeo. Because there's more to life than the daily commute.
I'm born to Kansas City. Kansas City, here I come.
On the road to Morocco,
Chicago.
FedEx carries more express packages to more places than any other shipping company on the planet. Everywhere from Georgia to Barcelona. About the only thing we can't carry is a tune. FedEx. Be absolutely sure.
9 now.
ESPN's presentation of Thursday night primetime college football is brought to you by Isuzu. We don't make cars because life is too big for cars. And by FedEx. Next time, send it FedEx and be absolutely sure.
Temperatures in the mid-50s right about now in Blacksburg, Virginia, 40 miles from Roanoke, southwest of Roanoke. A little plateau between the Blue Ridge and the Alleghenies, where this university of 25,000 students sits. These two schools similar, land-grant institutions, founded in the late 1800s. Tech leads Clemson by 11. Streeter with time. Intended for Gardner. Jerry Punch.
Guys, 19 days ago, redshirt freshman quarterback Michael Vick injured his left ankle in the season opener against James Madison. Now take a look. Now watch Vick as he will dive in the end zone, flip around, and watch his left ankle evert underneath him as he falls down on it. He sustained a sprain of that left ankle. This is the last play a moment ago. Now watch the tackler roll up on the outside of that left ankle as he grabs the left ankle, came to the bench and held the left ankle. So we'll watch him and see how effective he will be going back in the game here on their next offensive possession.
Justin Watts with the catch, picked up 7 as Vick is sitting on the sidelines instead of moving around as he has been most of the night. It was Keith Adams, Clemson's good linebacker, who chased down Vick and fell on that ankle, and you can almost see the pain grimaces he's fighting through. 3rd and 4. Virginia Tech opponents this year are 4 of 37 on 3rd down. Going to pick that one. Well, it's going to be close. I think it's shy of the 1st down as you looked at the ESPN 1st and 10 line. A little confused by the spot, which was quite generous, and where it's spotted, I think they may get the 1st down.
I think with that spot, I think he picked it up.
Surprised where it was spotted.
Yeah. It's going to be close.
Shy of it. Yep.
First down.
Still a pretty awesome number. 5 of 38 opponents in 3rd downs. They've been blowout games against James Madison and UAB, but tonight that's just the 2nd 3rd down pickup for Clemson. You talk about 3rd downs, the money down. The big down in college football.
Huge 1st down for Clemson, getting the ball out from deep in their territory. Now it's about tempo, trying to get the Virginia Tech defense back on their heels.
You saw Bud Foster, Tech's defensive coordinator. Streeter brought down by Engelberger. Well, Bud Foster, who's been with Frank Beamer for quite some time, the defensive coordinator of the 7 senior-led defense.
John Engelberger, number 96, came from the outside that time. He's 6'4", 262. Remember, he said he came on as a walk-on.
Yep.
And he did a good job. He's on the other side of the Moore. Makes it a tough combination.
Wants to be a pit boss one day at a casino, right?
Yep.
Be a police officer. Enjoys the bright lights. Outnumbered on the way, so Streeter moves and gets it to Wofford, where it will be 3rd and 10.
Another thing that impresses me about Virginia Tech is their defensive secondary close on the ball. You notice 16 that time, Corey Bird. Nice catch, but they're always around, and they rarely miss tackles, if you notice.
Bird and Anthony Midget, Nick Sorensen, who started 3 games at quarterback, and Larry Austin in that secondary. Ike Charlton's been in there most of the night. On the bench right now. Looks like Foster's getting ready for his guys to bring some heat on 3rd and 10. Re-release by Bird. Streeter, moonball, out of bounds. Intended for Gardner. Came very close to getting one knee down as he caught the ball, but it's punting time.
I think Gardner got lost there a little bit with the ball while it was in the air. I think he had a little bit of room there, and I don't think he really realized where he was in correlation to the sidelines.
I still think he's got to do that, though. He's got to go up top and try to get a couple of these.
He has to.
And Romano, Moore almost got it. A flag is down. Ricky Hall makes the catch at the 45-yard line. Corey Moore almost got a blocked punt.
I think they tried to slow him down by reaching and maybe pulling him back, maybe a little bit of a hole.
You definitely take this penalty.
I think they held Moore as he was trying to get through.
So Romano, whose first punt was 19 yards, got a good kickoff that time despite the rush. But
holding on the up.
The up back, Vince Ciurciu, sees Corey Moore get by him and gets that left hand up there. It looks like he got a little bit of the jersey. Pretty close call.
I mean, come on already.
He's so fast,
come
he
on
couldn't grab
already.
him. He's too quick.
He looked like he held him.
He reached for him at least.
Awful close call. What do you think, Mike?
I don't think that was the hold there.
Thank you. I agree.
And I didn't see another one where it was thrown. No, I didn't see another one where it was thrown. Dangerous spot now. They almost got to you. You got those goalposts breathing down your back.
All right.
Look at the yardage gained by Virginia Tech. They'll take over in Clemson territory. Well, neither offense has been able to get it going in the last 10, 15 minutes of clock time. Tommy Bowden's letting his quarterback know, you've got to make those plays. I know the heat's on you, but we need you to complete a few.
With an 83-year truck heritage behind us, we decided to try something a little different.
Hey! You left your wallet on the trunk!
Introducing the 215 horsepower Rally Sport-inspired Isuzu V-Cross. Theoretically, still a truck.
Hey, Michael, John here. I'm hanging out, having a beer. How come you don't come down?
Man, I'm doing the same thing as you. Why don't you come over here? I mean, the Miller Lite is ice cold and so smooth.
Oh, come on, man. From where I'm sitting, the Miller Lite tastes great.
Yeah, but the women are prettier over here. Trust me on this.
I find that very hard to believe.
And you guys call yourselves detectives.
Miller Lite. Taste the true Pilsner.
You know, we're kind of off duty right now. You know.
Hi.
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 Has this ever happened to you? You're making Aunt Sarah's lasagna, but you forgot her special ingredient. You need her phone number, but you don't even remember her area code. So do the smart thing. Dial 1010-9000 and tell our helpful operators who you want.
Sarah Dobson in Oakland.
They'll find the number and do something you're going to love. They'll dial it for you with no connection charge.
Sure. Dial it for me. My hands are kind of full right now.
For directory assistance anywhere in America, dial 1010-9000.
Thomas Jones and the Cavaliers travel to Provo to take on Rob Morris and a stingy Cougar defense.
Virginia, BYU at 9. Saturday on ESPN2.
Frank Beamer said this could be the best atmosphere ever for a Virginia Tech game. They're ranked 8th in the country, lead by 11. SportsCenter is coming up with Dan Patrick and Rich Eisen after the rest of this third and the whole fourth quarter. Bad blood Saturday in college football. We'll tell you when in October Deion Sanders returns to the Cowboy lineup, and Chipper Jones. Stop pitching to him.
Walk him.
SportsCenter.
Walk the guy.
Coming up next. Another one tonight. That's a great place. You may not know where Blacksburg, Virginia is, but I would suggest you come visit. The people are nice, and they have a great football team this year. Andre Kendrick runs for a couple. Mentioned Blacksburg. This part of Virginia, Lane Stadium. The colors of maroon and burnt orange, very prominent in the stands here. This is a fall kind of place, too. Chicago maroon and burnt orange. When the leaves turn in about 2-3 weeks here, this is a spectacular, pastoral, rural setting here in the state of Virginia. 2nd and 7, Vick to Kendrick. Andre Kendrick. It'll be yards short of the first down. 3rd and 1 coming up.
I think it's very important here for Virginia Tech and its play calling to at least get down in there where they can kick a field goal, because 14-3 is not enough with an offense like Tommy Bowden has. 17-3 really puts the pressure on them. They got to get 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points, or 1 2-point play to beat them.
Offensive coordinator Ricky Bussell. Hand on head as he's sent in this play. Power football on 3rd and short. And Clemson was ready for it, too. Depending on the spot, it'll be close, but it looks like Carswell may have stopped him short of the first down. Jolly as well, Terry Jolly.
Not second guessing, first guessing. Go for it. Absolutely go for it.
Well, your defense is playing. You might as well take a chance. That was a great play there by Terry Jolly, getting the penetration to stop him before he even got to the line of scrimmage.
Don't kick the field goal, but go for it.
Reggie Herring watching the personnel that's in there. Reminded his guys to be smart, watch the fake.
Little trickery here with the athletic Michael Vick, or go right at him?
Go right at him.
Option.
Little trickery and go at him. That's a combination. Go at him, trickery.
Vick falling forward, and where the ball was when his knee hit the ground is right at the first down stick. If you're a Virginia Tech fan, you're saying, wait a minute, the ball came down across the 31.
Right.
It's a bad spot. It's a good spot when you watch it because it's where the ball is when his knee hits the ground, and it was up around his midsection, not out forward when that first knee hit.
I think he got the first down.
You think right.
From the play before, Clemson pushed everybody to the inside. Again, they're going to bring everybody to the inside. Michael Vick takes a chance. Has to make a move there on Arley. Arley does a nice job of wrapping him up, but he stretched the ball across to pick up the first down.
Good thing he's left-handed. If he'd been right-handed, he would have never made it. It would have been too short.
Oh, my goodness. So strange to see a Clemson team being outrushed 220-10, but you have to get used to it. Essentially, these teams have switched personalities. Virginia Tech is the old Clemson.
Exactly. But one thing also from a coaching standpoint, Tommy Bowden's worried because see up there it goes tick, 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 tick. Every time it ticks, he's losing because he can't get the ball enough to score enough to beat him, especially if they can get at least 3 out of here.
You see Frank Beamer a little concerned with the offense, moving it between the 30s, but not much after that.
There's our guy.
Is that
our guy?
Keith Adams.
All right.
Little guy.
Keith Adams.
But he will hit you. 5'11", 203. Lightning quick. Loves to get up and get involved. And you got to remember, Shyrone Stith, we've been talking about how hard he runs with the football. And there he met a little Mack truck in Keith Adams.
College Park, Georgia. Good looking play from the inside. Watch it from the inside. Nice inside.
Watch
nice inside.
speed.
Watch this.
Boom.
Pop. Ooh, that's nice. Sorry. You get a little excited.
3rd and 3. Inside run with Ferguson. 1st and 10, Virginia Tech.
You know why that play worked, Mike? Kirk? Because they go outside, 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 all of a sudden trapped when they need it.
That's what they did in the first half. They had so much success bouncing the ball to the outside, running the option with Michael Vick, getting Stith to the outside, then it opens up the running lanes up the middle, and there another trap. Fullbacks have been able to pop that trap now, probably averaging close to 10 yards a carry.
Keith Short, the center, good-looking football player.
Haven't seen him throw it in a while. Ricky Hall and Andre Davis at the bottom of the screen. Why not run it with Stith again? DeMarco Fox and Alex Ardley in to tackle for Clemson.
The way they're controlling the line of scrimmage, there's no reason at this point to throw. If they're going to throw, great time for play action. Play action, get them to the outside and throw it. But the way they're running right now, just keep pounding.
I wouldn't throw it. Play action, new action, back action. I'd run right at them and keep running because every
when have
time
you
they
ever
run,
said to throw?
Well,
when have you ever said?
3rd and 20. The clock is ticking. Run that football, Virginia Tech.
There's the trap.
Ferguson to the 11. 3rd and 3 coming up. It's Keith Adams again with the hit. Keith Adams, by the way, his nickname is Termite because he takes a bite out of people. That's his nickname. I just read him. Don't write him.
Lee, let me ask you something. When you were coaching, did you kick a lot of field goals? Did you have good?
We never got down there close enough.
Oh, okay, I was going to say you get down in that red zone and you are running. If I were scouting you, I'm getting ready to. I put 12 in the box because you're running every time.
I always led the league in punting. We had more punts than anybody.
Very proud of that, of course. 3rd and 3. Vick to the air.
That's one.
Intercepted by Carswell. A red zone mistake by a rookie quarterback, and Carswell, who in 2+ seasons had no interceptions in his career, has 2 in the last 15 minutes.
All right, now let me tell you again why you don't throw the ball down there.
Right.
Because whatever happens, you got a chance to give them a break. I know there was a great play by Carswell. I know, but run the thing and get at least 3.
So what you're saying is they should run the ball?
Absolutely.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
We wouldn't lie. Next month, we have the best pictures playing on DirecTV. A private detective, an unspeakable act. Where will the truth lead?
Get out of the house now!
Nicolas Cage. 8mm. A successful lawyer risks everything for justice.
Somebody had to have seen what happened.
John Travolta. A civil action. 2 scheming teens. An outrageous bet. Are the stakes too high?
Are you in or are you out?
Sarah Michelle Gellar. Cruel intentions. This guy won't be double-crossed.
Where have you been?
Evening up the odds a little.
Mel Gibson in Payback. Destined for the coal mines.
I want to go into space.
A boy finds salvation in the October sky. Oscar winner Gwyneth Paltrow.
I will have poetry in my life and adventure.
In the best film of 1998, Shakespeare in Love. It's true, you won't want to miss these great movies next month on DirecTV.
It's the New York Football Giants against the New England Patriots on ESPN Sunday Night Football.
So you were champion of that Superstars thing?
Yep, 2 times.
Did you get to meet that Charlie Tilton?
What?
Now, she's a competitor. I once saw her beat David Brenner in the obstacle course with a badly sprained ankle.
No, you're thinking the Battle of the Network Stars.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it was the Superstars.
It's the Giants against the Patriots on ESPN Sunday Night Football. It all begins with NFL Prime Time at 7:30.
Here, 3rd and a long 3 for Virginia Tech, and they decide to go with the not only throwing the football, coach, but they get back in the shotgun. Keep an eye on Michael Vick's eyes, and right here, the free safety, Carswell, is going to do a good job of just reading the eyes of the quarterback. He finally looks up to try to throw the football to Browning Wynn, and Carswell is just simply playing center field, reading the eyes of Vick, makes the big play.
And Frank Beamer in field goal range. But when you have a young quarterback, and guys, that's why I keep going back to Virginia Tech's championship hopes. They have a championship defense, but when you have a redshirt freshman quarterback, you don't often win or contend for national championships. 1st and 10, Clemson. Hanging around because of the 4 Tech turnovers. Streeter will run and pick up a 1st down.
What it does to you on the sideline as a coach, it inflates one side and the other team gets really excited. They had him, they could have put him to sleep for 3 points, but now watch them. Clemson's going to come back firing around and look really good. Tech's in trouble right now.
3 receivers to this side, near side, only 3 Tech defenders over here. Streeter may have something to his right. They run again. As if he hasn't been hit enough. Chad Beasley. Along with Cyrus. 2nd and 10.
Last 2 times they've gone with a quarterback draw, and it's a numbers game. They feel that they have the numbers to be successful trying to run Streeter, even though they don't have a back in the backfield. They've spread that defense out everywhere, and they're trying to get him up in the middle. First time it worked. Second time Virginia Tech made the adjustment.
More runs free. Streeter hung in there and threw it to Rod Gardner.
Rod Gardner, another Clemson first down.
And I have a ton of respect for Brandon Streeter.
Absolutely.
Standing in there, being a man, making the reads and delivering the football, because here he comes again. 56, Engelberger 96, more obviously. It's interesting, as much pressure as they put on him, the corners are playing relatively soft with Ike Charlton.
Great point, Kurt. Great point. Streeter's 30th pass attempt. Incomplete. Kirk, has a quarterback, knowing he's going to get hit, learn how to stay in the pocket and deliver that pass?
It helps being a 3-year starter. You know, it helps when he was a freshman, like we're watching on the other side with Michael Vick. Even though Vick has shown good ability to show poise, it helps to have experience in taking hits and being out in the war, as they say.
4 receivers come close to you. You see how Tech's trying to match up against them. Man coverage on the other side, and they sneak it in there to Rod Gardner.
Quarterback coaches will try to really stress the ability to look downfield, focus downfield. You don't want to, as soon as you get aware of the rush, you lose your train of thought, and that's when you get in trouble as a quarterback.
The impressive thing about me is that Streeter, if I'm not mistaken, has not thrown an interception, right?
No turnover.
He's trying to kill him here or what? It's a no-hitter in the 8th inning, right?
Percentage-wise, he's going to have to throw one sooner or later.
3rd and 5 here from the Hokies. Streeter got rid of it. Flag down. If not interference, at least contact after the 5 yards.
Knocked away by Ike Charlton. Brings up a 4th down.
Ike Charlton, the junior, best corner out there for Virginia Tech, was in coverage. Defensive hold. You can think of several things to call when it's an uncatchable pass.
See Charlton manned up with Gardner. Very questionable. Really is. I mean, you have 5 yards there where you're pushing. Both sides are pushing. What do you think, Coach?
Well, I think there's automatically, anytime you put your hands on a guy like that in front, the official's going to call it.
You think?
Yes, sir.
Even
I think
at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, because he's got his hands out there where the official can see him. You got to learn to hold up in there tight. See?
You got to jam that receiver at the line.
1st and 10. I'm going to run here with Zachary. A nice late block from John McDermott, the right tackle. And the quarter will end with Clemson having the ball in Virginia Tech territory. Well, Tommy Bowden's offense put up 33 against Virginia. Add Tech to the equation, and it's not as easy to score. But Streeter has stayed in there, hung tough, and the Tigers are still alive.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
This man just woke up in a Residence Inn by Marriott suite. What are his options? He can A, make a cup of fresh coffee in the kitchen. B, walk all the way over to the living room area and start a fire in the fireplace. Or C, shoot some hoops. Okay, let's see what he does. Ah, D, none of the above. Residence Inn by Marriott. Room to relax, room to work, room to breathe.
Stop it! Need brakes? Now during the Midas $40 lifetime brakes rebate, save $20 per axle or $40 for your whole car. Lifetime guaranteed $40 in savings right now. Go safely. Go Midas.
We don't build commuter cars or get you to work fast pinstriped cars. We don't build cars, period. We build the 205 horsepower, get out of town fast Isuzu Rodeo. Because there's more to life than the daily commute.
Dad.
EJ, 170 million. That's a record. Think it's going to change you?
Absolutely not. E.J. Tucker's never been about money. E.J. Tucker's never played for money, and money will not change E.J. Tucker, not one iota.
Say, is that a Bud Light?
Oh, yeah, it's last one. Oh, yeah? What do you say I give you $1 million for?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
What do you want for that watch?
Trouble doesn't wear a watch. That's why State Farm offers its 24-hour Good Neighbor service from participating agents.
Hello, State Farm's Good Neighbor Service. This is Gina. How may I help you? Sure, I can help you with that.
So you can call your agent's office at any time, day or night, to start a claim, ask a question, and get the help you need.
And now the fourth quarter from Blacksburg, Virginia. Highest ranking ever for Virginia Tech, number 8. They lead by 11, but Clemson is trying to dig in and put some points on the board. After a scoreless third, Streeter starts the fourth with Justin Watts picking up the first down across the ESPN 1st and 10 line and to the 37.
Time Brandon Streeter, because they're trying to get away from the pass rush. He almost ran right into Corey Moore. Both teams making adjustments. It's like a chess match, back and forth. And that time he almost rolled right into the outside rush. Kind of a wide technique there by Moore to rush.
I like that guy's adjustments. Rich Rodriguez and Tommy Bowden's better than Virginia Tech's because they've got him on a run now. And when you let a team like Clemson with the wide open attack get some momentum, it's tough to stop them.
That's what this offense is predicated on. Momentum and tempo, trying to get them going. Got to beat him deep here. Everybody's up.
Caught underneath for about 8 yards by Mal Lawyer.
Ben Taylor made the tackle.
And one thing also about playing defense against this kind of offense, you tired. As the game goes on, you see the defensive linemen get tired chasing the passer, and you don't see as many sacks. Ever notice that?
Yes. Conditioning another big factor. They practice this offense all the time. The defense is trying to adjust to the speed of it.
You're not feeling cozy if you're a Hokie fan. All the center snaps have been good. So shovel pass with Zachary, who lost it. Incomplete pass, not a fumble. That's why you run that play. There is safety in the fact that it's a pass attempt.
Awesome yardage on the play, back to the 38-yard line.
I think he had some yards there to pick up, and he was looking upfield, looking where to cut as opposed to trying to secure the ball first.
Boy, that's a nice run and shoot play, too. You get the guys that come across, a nice little flip it onside.
Just popped his head up a little too soon.
This conversation about incomplete pass, or should the ball be back where it was because it was not advanced past the line of scrimmage.
Would the clock operator please put 4 seconds back on the clock?
Or the clock screwed up.
4 seconds back on the clock.
And the way the game is going,
those 4 seconds could be huge.
I just started to say that, didn't I?
Could be huge.
Just started to say that. It could be huge the way this game's going.
Depending on what happens here.
11 points is not enough.
Get over the yellow line at the 28 to keep the drive alive. Nice coverage by Anthony Midget, but a flag comes in. And Streeter may have taken his hardest shot on that play.
Interference on the defense. First down to the spot of the foul. First down.
Virginia Tech is starting to sit on those short option routes. They're catching on to what Clemson's trying to do. They're simply telling their receivers to get to the first down line, the marker, turn around and try to make the catch. Their midget comes over the back, and there's the call. But Streeter's got to recognize that blitz, everybody is coming there.
Waiting for the flag, and he got it. The official right next to the play couldn't see it, the umpire. The contact was from the back, and why it took so long for the flag to get there, the back judge had to throw it 35 yards. Drive stays alive. Number 27. High snap pulled down, and Zachary pinballs for 9.5. Well, Tommy Bowden's quarterback has shown the courage. How many times has he been hurried and hit and sacked? Almost every time he threw.
It's amazing. Talk about toughness. I don't care how much experience he has. And look at him, still into this football game, making good decisions, keeping his team alive.
Quick hitter to get the first down. The chains will move with Streeter keeping it.
First down, they're going to get up on the line. Brandon Streeter has been, showed the graphics, been getting beaten up all night long. Here, three guys just sandwich him. Engelberger coming through the outside, gets the ball off, but he gets hit. And of course, this should be his second cousin, the way Corey Moore has been in the backfield so often.
Interesting point here. Remember, psychologically, Tech has only allowed one touchdown this year. If Clemson scores, it works on the mind and the scoreboard.
Streeter, end zone, touchdown dropped. Oh, Rod Gardner recognized it was going to be underthrown on purpose, came back to the ball and had it, but couldn't finish it off.
He adjusted to the ball perfectly. Maybe a little bit of a push-off. Nobody's looking. Maybe just a soft push-off there by Gardner. One-on-one. Charlton backs off at the last second. Ball is underthrown. Little push with the left hand. He's there. High points the ball and just doesn't make the catch.
Streeter is 22 of 35. Hasn't thrown an interception tonight. Look out. Now Lawyer lost 4.
All right, third down situation. Whatever you want to do, you're telling the receivers you run directly 1 yard behind the first down and squat and throw the football. Because if you don't get the completion, you might get over the back pass interference, what they did before. So I wouldn't be surprised if they all didn't go down and curl hook.
3rd and 12. They can pick up a first down, as you see, at the 6. On the ground trying to get it is Watts. What do you do now, Lee? 4th and 2.5.
Kick a field goal. You got to get a field goal to tie them. Sometime. Get a field goal right now and then play for the 8th later on.
Will they get this close again?
Thinking about it.
Yeah, I think you got to go. Put the pressure on them. I'd kick the field goal no matter what he says. Now, if he gets to be 14-6, the pressure is on the 8th-ranked team in the nation. And that offensive coordinator, remember, upstairs choking, trying to call the plays? That's what Bowden said, didn't he?
Lazzara comes in for the field goal. First attempt for him tonight. Fake.
Oh, my gosh.
Lazzara throws. Touchdown! Vince Ciurciu, the fullback. 14-9. Will they go for 1 or 2?
Is this Tommy Bowden or Bobby Bowden?
Bobby Bowden.
Boys, you got to go for 2 here at 14-9. You got to go for 2.
Goes back to their theory. Come in there, play loose, have some fun, try to make things interesting. Woo! What a call.
Just want to mention something. Remember when I told you guys about them kicking a field goal and they got the interception? They got the ball on a 14-yard line. They drove the ball 86 yards against the 8th-ranked team in the nation. They gave them a chance to get back in this game is what they did.
Well, a break here for Bowden as his players were all unsettled. Virginia Tech was just as unsettled and needed to take a timeout. The kicking game has struggled kicking field goals, but Tony Lazzara, the place kicker, who hadn't attempted one tonight, decides to throw. The snapback to him was pretty good, and Ciurciu, the backup fullback, has the touchdown. Oh, the Bowden bag of tricks. It's a family deal.
Which Sports Center do you watch? Now at 6 p.m. only on ESPN.
Come on.
It's not that easy. It's not that easy.
Take that.
Encouragement.
Take that.
Don't let him beat you, KG.
Yeah. Come on, Kevin. Watch it. Brandy's in the house. What?
What's up with the shirt? Come on, man.
Convenient paperless e-tickets at nwa.com. An e-service center check-in at the airport. Together, they make your life a little simpler. Select your seat online at nwa.com.
ESPN's presentation of Thursday night primetime college football is brought to you by Dodge. Do not follow, do not conform. Be different.
Shocking turn of events here in Blacksburg. It's 14-9. Clemson has scored and is going for a two-point conversion to get within a field goal after the fake field goal touchdown pass. Two receivers to the top.
Ball on the left hash, Mike. Look for him to roll to his right, possibly.
Takes the handoff and throws the two-point conversion. A tight end catching a ball, Jason LeMay. Tight ends rarely catch passes in the end zone for Clemson. Pat Sergalis caught a touchdown last week. It was the first touchdown by a tight end in 10 years at Clemson. And LeMay catches the two. And the Hokies are on the ropes. They're down 3. The two-point conversion followed the fake field goal. Jason LeMay, the redshirt freshman, first time he's caught it in the end zone. Playbook's open. Let's have some fun, boys.
Here at Sonic, we're known as car hops. Lifesavers is more like it. Hi, here's your order. Thanks. Sonic floats and flurry drinks to the rescue. Get them now for only 99 cents each. We can turn any drink or slush into an old-fashioned float or blend it into a cool, one-of-a-kind Sonic flurry drink. Everybody happy? Everything's great. Thanks. Flavor Flash, try our awesome steak sandwich with some handmade onion rings.
You know, Kenny and I never compare statistics.
Or Super Bowls.
That way we can drink our Miller Lights without arguing. Right, Mr. Fewer career touchdown passes than me?
Right, Mr. Never Been to the Big One.
We only talk about why Miller Lite tastes great.
It's the choice hops.
No, Snake. Miller Lite tastes great because it's smooth. But let's not fight.
Yeah, you're right. Let's be friends.
Table ready for Mr. I don't have as many passing yards to stand fouts?
Hey, that's you.
Miller Lite. Taste the true Pilsner.
Steve Spurrier bombed Hal Mummy last year. Is revenge a factor?
Florida, Kentucky at 7:30, Saturday on ESPN.
The walk-on kickers from Clemson are so maligned, but you're going to hear a lot of explaining as the days and weeks go on about Tony Lazzara's throw, and now Michael Vick, the freshman, his Virginia Tech offense running the ball right down Clemson's throat. 4 turnovers have kept the Tigers in the game, and now they must respond. We didn't mention Corey Moore much on that drive. An 86-yard drive. Maney's kickoff, taken by Stith, and returned to the 25. What happened those 2 plays?
I'll show you why. Now, look, right here, they have 3 men. Usually there's a guy over here, but he's not there. They put 3 men. They overloaded the area. and watch him roll out to his left now, direct snap. But see, there's 3 receivers out there. There's one more. They've got a defender. That's why the play worked.
Do a two-point conversion. Again, credit Rich Rodriguez and Tommy Bowden. I said the ball's on the left hash. They're going to go to the right. They fake the handoff to the right, find a wide-open tight end. That's great play calling because they're going against their tendencies that they've shown here in their first couple games.
And piling on for Virginia Tech, a holding penalty on the return. The drive start from the Hokie 8. Stith. Ball hit the ground when it came out.
When we talked to Tommy Bowden this morning, remember he talked about just trying to hang around like the old fox in a chicken's coop till the 4th quarter, putting the pressure on the #1 team, the 8th ranked team in the nation at home. That's exactly where he's got him.
Yeah, and this is a big drive for Virginia Tech. You mentioned championship teams answer.
Right.
They come back. Ball is pinned back deep in their inside their own 10-yard line. Will they come back? And on the other side, you got a Clemson defense now that's foaming at the mouth. They're excited. Yeah. They're going to be moving around, very active. This drive really could dictate what happens in this game.
Dave Cadella, the starting right tackle for Virginia Tech, kid out of Dublin, Ohio, shaken up, but getting up.
Sure, he's a heck of a golfer, Mike.
Dublin, Ohio, it's your neck of the woods. Beautiful golf area. Of course, where they play the Memorial. Matt Winsick, the backup at right tackle, will come in. 2nd and 2.
Checking here, see something.
Good penetration by Clemson. Helped slow down Stith, but he'll have the first down. Very close to it. Virginia Tech was moving the ball very effectively. Offense had it going. See what's happened the last 5 times they've had the ball. 3 of the turnovers, the missed field goal, and a punt.
Look at the second line, last 5. The fumble, the missed field goal, interception, punt, another interception. Yet you look at the scoreboard and you see 11 for Clemson. I know this is still a great game, but just think, this Hokie defense has stepped up today. You have that many turnovers and yet you're still leading. It says a lot about your defense.
Just shot.
3rd down and inches for the Hokies at the 18-yard line.
Jerry Punch.
Guys, good news for right tackle Dave Cadella. Simply a cramp. He was on the field, came off the field. They're going to get some fluids in him and try to get him back in. Nothing more serious than a simple cramp.
Thank you, Jerry. Vick using his 6'1", 212-pound frame. Looks like he picked up the first down. He did. Chance to remind you on the weekend to make sure you order ESPN game plans. See the college games you want to see. Wisconsin grads who live south of the Mason-Dixon line, you don't have to badger your local bartender for that. ESPN game plan. You can order it for yourself. A reminder that SportsCenter is coming up next. Some of those Bad Blood Saturday games are available on Game Plan, plus the NFL story and the baseball. Once we're done. To the air. Incomplete. Tough for Davis to catch as he rolled and the ball was knee-high.
The pressure goes on to the offensive team from Virginia Tech because they've got to try to mix it up. They can't just keep running because Clemson's stacking up there. But every time a guy drops the ball, boy, that's another pressure situation for the play call.
Tough to be the favorite when you haven't been in that role very often. Michael Vick tonight, 6 of 16. Frank Beamer's quarterback has thrown for just 67 yards. Stith has been the man, and Clemson defense is sitting on him. Tackled by Charles Heffley, reserve strong safety, seeing some snaps for this key point of the game.
That's a big down right here.
All right, Kirk, what do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Well, you got to put Vick back in the gun and give him a chance. See if he can complete it or let him scramble for the first, one or the other. Give him that option.
Whatever you do,
don't throw the pick.
You roll him out and give him an option.
Needs to get to the 29. A pocket throw is caught for a first down. Across the 40 goes Derek Carter. This is the second catch this year for the tight end. A big 21-yarder.
Simple man-on-man coverage. Carter beats his man, has a little bit of a, just a little bit of a crossing route. But, Coach, this is where Michael Vick feels comfortable.
Yeah,
if you're the coach,
right. I guess you're
put
right.
him in a situation where he feels comfortable sitting back in the pocket, tight end right across. He's not real open there. Hey, that is a well-thrown football.
You realize how good a pass that was? That could absolutely win this football game. That play.
Watch the clock. Some more clock. Yep.
Caught it with 9:05 on the clock. Stith. Keith Adams hangs on as Stith rides for more than 150 yards now here tonight. Well, just under 150, 146. Love to watch Reggie Herring work. The defensive coordinator.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the play clock. Last time, Michael Vick is very aware. This goes back to game management. Very aware of his time. See how he's just kind of walking out of the huddle. He's taking a look at the play clock, taking his time. It's a very intelligent, very smart, letting it run down, trying to eat up as much clock as possible.
Tossed it. Kirk, that's such basic football and drilled in your head from an offensive coordinator. Is it still tough to do for a redshirt freshman in only his second game?
That's coaching. You'd be surprised. Lee and I, we go around every weekend. We watch all these games. You'd be surprised to see how many quarterbacks actually aren't really dialed in on the game management as far as the play clock. There'll be guys that'll be underneath the center calling out the cadence, and the corner will end, and they'll wonder why is the whistle stopped. I mean, he's very aware of what's going on, and that goes back to coaching by Frank Beamer and his offensive coordinator.
Offensive coordinator Ricky Bussell, he's the guy.
Yep.
A little tardy getting the play in and off, but get it done, and Stith gets a first down. Did the ball come out, or was he down? Oh, they say he was down at the 38. Carswell with another hit, and he thought they had a fifth turnover.
Ooh. I say nothing.
I say nothing. It all depends on who you're rooting for. Nothing.
First and 10. Ferguson, the fullback, bouncing off tacklers. Virginia Tech's offensive line has made them get into 3rd and 3, 2nd and 6 situations.
Remember a long time ago I said tick, 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 and they missed, and they didn't get that field goal, and they let them back in the game. Well, it's tick, 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 tick again. Yeah. 6:35.
This goes back to that 3rd down throw by Michael Vick. He picks up the first down. Did you almost feel the energy pick up on the maroon side and go down with the orange and white? I think that was a big throw, and now he gets back to working the clock again.
Option.
Protect the ball, Coach.
It came out.
Michael Bishop, I'm telling you guys.
It came out, and Josh Redding just happened to turn back around the other way. 2 sets of arms on the ball, but it is Tech ball.
Michael Bishop, Kansas State, didn't protect the football. You see, he's carrying it like a loaf of bread. Yep. You got to put that ball and tuck it away. I'm telling you, that's dangerous.
That one came out, too. Big play, another big play.
That 3rd down to the tight end, Carter, was picked up with 9:05 on the clock. And that thing goes downhill quick when you're inside of 10 minutes in the 4th quarter, doesn't it? Stith. That play was stopped short of the first down because of Keith Adams 43 was shot right through the line.
Surprise, surprise.
And Robert Carswell also in on the play. Brings up the 3rd down and 2 on the Hokies.
4th and a couple.
Correction, 4th down and 2.
47-yard field goal is within the range of Shayne Graham.
You got to love the Clemson linebackers. They are always in attack mode. And here Adams is going to come up and make the play. No hesitation. Simply comes in, uses his quickness, and blows that play up right away. These guys are all sophomores, too.
47-yarder for Graham. Online. Good. They have the best kickers in the Big East. And the all-time leading scorer in Hokie and conference history has forced Clemson to score a touchdown instead of a field goal. A 6.5-minute drive ends with a 47-yard field goal from the senior. Number 8 by 6.
Rarely does a film come along that excites the soul, warms the heart, and sparks the flame of passion. The epic tale of romance.
Master Shakespeare, the writer of plays that capture my heart.
Passion and love.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?
Join Academy Award winner Gwyneth Paltrow, Joseph Fiennes.
I love you.
Shakespeare in Love, playing now on DirecTV.
Hi, welcome to the neighborhood. Care for a tour? All you need is your DirecTV remote. If you're not sure where to find your favorite programming, just go to our website at directtv.com. Also, if you've locked out specific channels, be sure to reset them. And if you've set up favorite channel lists, reset them too, because these personalized features stay with the channel number, not the program. If you need more information, check out your owner's manual. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Hey! Hey! Yeah? If the professor can make a bomb out of a coconut, why couldn't he fix that boat? We've been through this.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on ESPN.
Later on SportsCenter, Chipper and the Braves try to take a little more wind out of the Mets' sails. What is baseball's most compelling story this year? And why are the defending Super Bowl champs looking to avoid a three-peat? For Rich Eisen, I'm Dan Patrick. We'll see you after the game.
See SportsCenter when our business is done, but there's business to do with 5 minutes left. Michael Vick led a 6.5-minute field goal drive, and it will be up to Brandon Streeter in the Clemson offense. Joe Don Reams awaits the kick. Jimmy Kibble usually sends him to the end zone.
E or S?
Again, I'm going to stick with the E. We saw so many on film. You're going S. I'm going deep. I know it's deep.
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Oh, E.
Yes. Yes. Right. Yes. Right on the S.
He almost made a big X and a mistake of trying to run it out. Before Streeter comes out, here's Doc.
I'm with Barry Streeter, who's made the 5.5-hour journey from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, down to see his son Brandon play. And Coach, your son has absorbed a lot of punishment tonight, but has battled back courageously.
Well, he sure has. We're really proud of him, and he's taken a couple shots tonight, but I think last year he took a lot more than this.
I call you coach to the head coach at Gettysburg College. Got to admire Tommy Bowden's courage on the fake field goal.
Oh, I thought it was a great call. I think that, they've been struggling a little bit with their field goals, and it was a timely call. I thought it was a great call, and it really helped them a lot.
You talked about the rhythm you were watching Clemson get in. You have not been able to see them play in person this year, but the rhythm on that last drive, they need that kind of rhythm to be able to move the ball back down the field.
No question about it. I think once you get in, it's just like anything else. You get into a groove, you can really move the ball, and I think they have the confidence to do it. I don't think there's a question about that.
Okay, Coach, thanks for coming down. That is the father of Brandon Streeter, guys.
Thanks, Jerry. 2nd and 5. After running for 5, they'll pick up a first down with Rod Gardner, who nearly lost it trying to shake free. Brandon Streeter, the son of a coach, and the dad had a great thing with his team today, Gettysburg, so he could come see the game. His team practiced this morning. I don't know if the guys enjoyed the 6 a.m. practice.
You think they had a choice?
No, I don't think so.
Forget about it.
Around football his whole life. Kind of like Tommy and Terry Bowden, who rode on the bus when Dad was the coach. in his early days. Zachary was unable to fool Carl Bradley, one of those defensive tackles inside. Second down coming and not much time.
Notice we have not called Corey Moore's name. It seems like in the last quarter and a half, and I think a lot of that has to do with the attack, the new attack that Clemson is going with here. They're trying to take him away from that great pass rush that he had in the first half.
Clemson has a perfect offense to drive the ball down the field with 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
This is what this offense is made for.
This is it right here.
Moore got in there, intercepted by Ike Charlton. Touchdown, Hokies!
You take the... How many passes?
They are Virginia Tech. They do defense for a living. First interception by Streeter. 7 points for Tech. Kirk said, we haven't heard much from Corey Moore. He got in there and forced it to be rushed. Ike Charlton came up with the interception. 34-yard return. And the number 8 team in the country can let out an X-hand.
Brace yourself for a global event so intense it will have the masses frozen in its shadow. From the producers of Sunny Delight comes Eclipse. 3 refreshingly light tastes, cool natural juice flavors. Nothing on earth will prepare you for this thirst-destroying, life-electrifying phenomenon. Eclipse. Reach for the cooler side of the sun. Looking at air travel with a new sense of possibility. Rising as imagination.
Ike Charlton had an interception return for a touchdown last year against Rutgers.
Just talked about Corey Moore and his ability to make plays and how he hasn't made any plays recently because Clemson going away from him. This time they elect to sit in the pocket, and Corey Moore made the play to turn Ike Charlton loose.
Tuning in at the top of the hour, Dan Patrick and Rich Eisen have Sports Center in a few moments. Line drive kick out of the end zone. Nope, out of bounds first. Out of bounds first. A mistake, a rare mistake by Kibble. The ball will come to the 35.
Here's Corey Moore right there, and he's got John McDermott right there on an island. He comes right around them. It's all gone. See that right there? He gets his body turned. It's too late.
Ball is a little bit thrown to the side there. Charlton sitting back in zone. Ball just comes right to him. He makes a nice play and going down to get it, and then the rest, all speed. And this team can run defensively. They remind me of that Alabama defense back in, was it 92? Great defense.
Remember, Brandon Streeter threw the ball 39 times. That was his first interception.
Back to the air. Rod Gardner lost it out of bounds. Dr. Jerry Punch.
Guys, Corey Moore says he was driven to succeed in life by the two most important women in his life. His mother, Dorothy, who worked 2 jobs and raised 4 children by herself, and his grandmother, Marion, who tragically died when he was 7 years old. What kind of kid is Corey Moore? When his grandmother had a stroke in Brownsville, Tennessee, he sat with her, rubbed her arms and legs, ran her bathwater, and said her determination to live will forever be his inspiration.
His grandmother was that person. Still hasn't been to her gravesite. So emotional for him. Moore, who, when he entered here at Virginia Tech, Cornell Brown was the senior. Cornell Brown was a great defensive player who didn't go on to a terrific NFL career because of his size, didn't project as a defensive end at the next level. Very similar to Moore. And Corey's learned a lot from the former great Virginia Tech star Cornell Brown. He forced the turnover. He scoops. He scores. Forces a fumble, recovers it, and does color, too.
Yes.
Corey Moore, he just said best in the nation. I don't know if he's talking about his team or him, because he is one of the best, if not the best, defensive lineman in college football. Here he makes so many plays in the first half. He comes back after they try to go away from him. And now, look at it. What is this, little pineapple? Little, what is he doing there?
Yes. I said give him the outlet trophy 3 quarters ago. Now you ready to give it to him?
We'll see.
What do you mean we'll
Great
see?
player. Let's not get too emotional. Great player.
How can you
I give it to him.
Welcome to the terror dome, baby. We swarm. Welcome to the terror dome. We swarm. Never knew. We swarm, baby. We swarm, baby. All day long. Keep pounding.
The beauty of college football is, and the college football awards, it's not about the guy's NFL potential.
Right.
He's not going to be a next-level superstar. I talked to a bunch of scouts. He's got to learn to be a linebacker. The whole deal. We talked to the guys at halftime. But he's a great college football defensive end.
Oh, great. And he's got a great motor. He's just a treat to watch. Forget the NFL. I mean, who cares about the NFL when it comes to Corey Moore?
Oh, we fall in love with, this guy's a first-round pick. He can run a 40. Jordan Reams brings it out. Frank Beamer's team had gone 39 minutes without scoring. In the last 17 minutes, or 17 points in the last 2.5 minutes. 2 defensive scores adding to the numbers that Frank Beamer's team has put up in Frank's now 12-plus seasons here in Blacksburg.
I'm going to give you a number. Did you know since 1996 that Virginia Tech is 23-0-1 when they hold the opponents to 17 points or less? My friend, it's now 24-0-1.
We should reset for those of you who are not fully up to speed with the national perspective of the Bowl Championship Series as Sorensen goes down again. Streeter, excuse me. Nick Sorensen, defensive player for Virginia Tech. Why, Lee, you, among other people, say Virginia Tech could possibly be in the national championship equation? I think the first point that you made is the most significant. They started high enough in the national rankings to give them a shot to move up.
Because everybody in front of them plays each other, so they got to lose one game, and Tennessee, the other team ahead of them, has already lost one. So if they take care of business, it's going to be hard to keep them out of there.
That's assuming, and I don't want to give you a not so fast, my friend, but that is assuming everybody loses a game. The one thing I would hate to see, because I agree, they've got a great chance to run the table. They have all their big games at home, or the most of the games are here at home. But wouldn't you hate to see let's say a Penn State, let's say a Florida State, run the table. You think a Virginia Tech at 11-0 is going to move ahead of Florida State or a Penn State?
Oh, there's no way, because those teams currently sit 1-2.
That's right. But my point is, Penn State plays Michigan and Purdue and Ohio State. And Michigan State.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, come on.
Well, they play them all at home for the most part, just like Virginia Tech.
They don't play Purdue and Michigan State at home.
No.
3rd and 13.
You're just rooting your team home.
No, I'm not.
Incomplete.
It's a fact.
Ike Charlton knocked it down.
Virginia Tech plays Syracuse, Boston College, and Miami here.
Excuse me, we're doing 2 separate broadcasts.
We got
the Miller Lite storyline tonight here in Blacksburg. Forget the whole thing. Corey Moore has been the story tonight. His pressure in the first half through Clemson offensive momentum, and his big turnover there in the second half for the touchdown, one of the 2 defensive scores for the Hokies in a very quick stretch.
If you agree, Florida or Florida State, one of them is going to go undefeated. Whoever wins that.
I think Florida State.
Okay, you're saying that now. Okay, we'll remember that.
Florida State
undefeated.
Virginia Tech.
Okay,
that was my pick.
I said at the beginning of the season, Florida State
and Nebraska.
Right.
Okay.
But we will see.
We'll see
what happens.
We'll see. Nebraska might not get through Missouri. The last time they were in Missouri, they took that miracle play, didn't they?
That's all right. We'll see. Let the games play.
I think I've opened up a little bit of conversation here, haven't I? Their win over Texas in the Sugar Bowl in '95 season, '96 New Year's Day. That was the biggest win in Virginia Tech program history. This is their highest ever national ranking, and the teams that sit above them in the standings in the poll, the coaches poll, Florida State, Penn State, Florida, Michigan, Nebraska, Texas A&M, Tennessee, then the Hokies.
We've talked a lot about Virginia Tech tonight. They've come back. They've won this football game. But let's not lose sight of what Clemson did tonight. First-year coach Tommy Bowden brought his team in, heavy underdog, 8th-ranked team in the country, and his team battled. Granted, they got some breaks, they got some opportunities, but they capitalized on them. Tommy Bowden will turn this Clemson football program around. Once he starts to be able to recruit the athletes, bring them in with this system, he's going to get Clemson going. They need to believe in him because I like what he's doing with this program.
Dave Meyer has just come in. They let Michael Vick take a snap and take some applause as he went off. They run Suggs.
To add what you just said, Kurt, what game did I tell you if I was a Florida State coach I'd worry more about than any game?
That's Pops.
That's Clemson.
Florida State. Clemson, Florida State.
Mark it down on your calendar. That young man will go after his father with a vengeance.
With everything.
That's October 23rd on ESPN. The 2 toughest home games left for Virginia Tech against Syracuse on October 16, Miami November 13. You'll see the Syracuse matchup on ESPN. Virginia Tech didn't win this game by 20 points. The score says they did, because Corey Moore and the defense got it done in the end, but Clemson played them a lot closer. Our final score, Virginia Tech 31, Clemson 11. SportsCenter is next. Corey Moore's a senior out of Brownsville, Tennessee. Undersized, doesn't fit the defensive end mold to the next level, but tonight he showed you what it's all about to be a great college player. Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, Dr. Jerry Punch, Mike Tirico. See you next week from Atlanta. SportsCenter is next.